What's up? Oh, who we got there? No garage. What do you mean you can't join? What's up, Chip? Mama M? Did you change your name? I think you did. Why do I have a fly? It's 35 degrees outside. Just you what? Oh hell. Yeah, I figured you did. I'm yeah, I couldn't do anything after 5. It was so dark out here and wind started blowing everything else. I was the hell with it. I ain't been able to do much on the cars anyway because doing stuff on the house. When you live on 2 acres of nothing but big ass oak trees and hickory trees, you're pretty much do nothing but leaves, and then got to put plastic up on this room so we can come out here. Yeah, Bassett sucks. I'm fed up and tired. Hey, Leonard, it's I didn't even know what I was going to talk about other than I've just been angry. That and trying to, try to get everything I can into one video and put one out every week. I can't do it because I just can't. And then I got people that say, show us how you do it. Don't just talk. Well, if I sat here and showed you everything that I do and how I do it, my videos would be about 4 hours long. And since I'm not Derek, I'm not going to have a 3 and 4 hour movie going on. I'm just not. And this is pretty much for entertainment. It's not really, if there's some things I can show you, I'll pop something on there, something simple like before you go put your before you go put your damn what you call it. See what I mean? My brain is I'm out of it. Before you go putting your thermostat housing back on a Ford, like a small block Ford, that housing goes like this. Take your bolts and cut you a slit so you can get a screwdriver head in there to tighten them up. Otherwise, it's a bastard. Little things like that. Other than that, everything I do is pretty straightforward. Yeah, Paul. I worked on it a little bit today, but like I said, it got dark on me so quick after I got everything done around here that I have to get done. Plus, I got to work tomorrow, which is going to be about a 16-hour day for me. I really didn't get to film much of it. It sucks, but it's getting there. I've got all the parts I need. I just what a pain in the ass. Be nice if I had a big ass shop. Oh, I went over that in the last video, didn't I? Yeah. Well, hopefully that's going to change now in the next 4 years. I got to watch, you ain't allowed to talk about that on YouTube. They'll kick you off. You were born in a 73 Laguna. It ain't bad. I could have cleaned it up a lot better. I just don't. It's for what we're doing with that car. I can give you a little what's up, and hey, you can put it in reverse neutral drive, and it all works now. Did a really, really awful, crappy job of putting that shifter linkage back together, but it works. That's all that matters. It works. Supposed to get a bunch of snow Thursday, which is Thanksgiving, so that'd be great. I'll probably have to work that whole weekend too, so there ain't going to be much of anything unless if I'm off Friday, which somehow I highly doubt, I might be able to get a bunch done on it. Yeah, the bypass hose you're talking on the Ford, it can be, as long as you get they're a molded hose, as long as you kind of get the idea before you go sticking it down in there of where it needs to be. Make sure you put your damn clamps all the way together in the center of it. Yeah, Bass, I agree with you. It's just it's been all bad lately. Well, not all bad. I've had some cool stuff. I got PRI coming up, so I'll be at with Aces, a couple other things, but kind of, I'm not bummed about it, but I kind of knew it was coming. We'll just say I kind of knew it was coming, that roadkill and that would be done, and roadworthy rescues and all that shit. I already knew. We kind of knew when we were down in Tucson. Already got the dates for No Name Nationals? Oh, damn. John's moving overtime. Have you played your drums lately? No. I just had that discussion with my guitar player from Black Swine, my metal band that I'm in. We were talking a little bit. Might try to do something. Other than that, Zeppy plays them more than me. $21 people in here. Yeah. So, what's everybody working on, or what's everybody doing? Speaking of dates, they're going to drop the, I guess, Power Tour and Drag Week. They're going to release them earlier, probably before the end of the year. That way people can, put in their vacation, because a lot of people, they got to have their vacation in before, the end of the year, what days are going to take. So I think they're going to release them a little earlier. Ooh, fretless bass. No kidding, Kyle. In case you guys didn't read that, just wanted to say thanks for all you do. Your descriptus during. Yeah, your descriptiveness, descriptiveness. I'm a horrible reader, by the way. I'm a little bit dyslexic, so during videos helps me a lot. I am totally blind, but have owned and worked on cars when I lived in New Zealand. Totally blind. Wow, you actually worked on them blind? I mean, I always say I could build a motor blindfolded, basically, but that ain't nothing like that. I mean, if you could do that, that's hats off, man. That's awesome. Thanks for watching. New Zealand. What a beautiful landscape. Bass. I don't have a garage. I'll bet you got concrete. Do you have a driveway in front of your, house? Do you have anything like that, or just some rock, cardboard, or come on now. You watch my videos, you see what I work with. Got one chance for vacation because of my wife's job. So I'm going to go take drags next year instead. Hey, it's a good time. Honestly, I think it's better than Power Tour. Matter of fact, I think when Dalton and I were down there, he was already talking about having like our own little mini Power Tour going to duct tape drags next year, which is pretty awesome. We're doing it anyway, so I mean it'll be fun. It's a blast as long as you can keep up. Because don't let him fool you. He's an 80, 85 mile an hour dude all the way there. Oh, a Honda Pilot. I really need to get in there and fix my damn oil burner. It lit up and I had it going, and all of a sudden it just died. And then I noticed the oil that I'd put in it had water was in it, and it separated and killed it. So I got to get it apart and clean it. I may do that tomorrow night. That video is still getting seen. I mean, I guess, yeah, it's a to-do. It's one thing that I actually make that I guess that I did to do. This is how you do it. And I stole it from someone else. Kinda. Not completely, but kinda. I'm telling you, it's a good time. It's a real good time. What is going on here? Epson. Whoa. Piece of crap. Yeah. My problem is I have a 5-gallon, I don't know what a container that I put all my oil in, but I don't know. I guess it just weeped all summer and got water in it. I need to do a better job with the oil because I had that thing running. It looked like, like old smokestacks from the 1900s, early 1900s. It ain't running so smooth. Needs cleaned. $72 Monty. They're out there. I mean, I like the Malibus or the Chevelles more, but they're basically the same. Bear Rose just went live. I ain't talked to him for a long time. So it's Saturday night, and you guys must be about as party type as I am. You're all sitting on here with me. Try next year. You put the engine in it and a window. Engine in it and a window. Well, I hope your window rails look a lot better than what my poor ambulance did. Sheesh, that thing's. But try to find those pieces and parts that they're just not having. 30-minute for, yeah, that's right. My phone went off. Oh, electric windows. That's even better. That's even better. '65 Mustang. My very first car was a '66. I don't have anything out there that's my birth year. Couple after their birth year. 3 actually. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. The C10 is a '76. The Oogie is a Malibu Classic. That's a '76, and the Olds Omega. Yeah, bass. That's or bass. That's yeah. That's kind of where I'm at. Hey, that's I can read that just fine, Kyle. I know exactly what you're saying. Oh, Holden. Yeah, that. I wish we could get a hold of them here. I mean, we got close. We can get a G8 or a, but speech to phone. I can mess that up too. Well, Western New York. Is that better than Eastern New York? Just wondered. Oh, Kyle's in upstate New York. How did you get from friggin' New Zealand to upstate New York? Or you just from here and moved there for a while? $2, Northern New Jersey. Yeah. Bunch of East Coasters in here. There to here for a girl and work, and you're still working. Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of how it goes, ain't it? Oh, Mitchell. Oh, question. If you won the lotto, dream car truck you would buy? I would have to say, boy, I don't know. I'm thinking I really, really, really love like a like a 70, 69 or 70 GTO. But other than that, if I had something really nice, maybe a Pantera. I've always wanted a Pantera, but if I had, if it, I think even if I had the money to buy it, I'd still be scared to drive it if it was really nice. You know what I mean? Like I love driving. Bonnie's my daily driver, a '67 GS340, and that thing restored sells for an ungodly amount. 68 K10. I got a buddy that's got one of them, or a couple of them. Paul, no, honestly, I fell in love with. I'd seen him before, but you know the GTO that's on Dazed and Confused. That color, that striping, that everything is just. I just love them. I can't remember. I think that was a 69 or a 70. I can't remember. That's the best way to be about it, Kyle. Just a straight ass 350. Hell, even the 6 cylinders. From Indy. I'm going to be in Indy the beginning of December. Oh, an AMX. Yeah. Yeah. I'd take that. Yeah, I'll be at the PRI. Yeah. I'm going to go for a couple of days. I don't know if I'm going to stay there or not. I already drive there every day, so I could probably just drive there, go to the show, and come home. You know, honestly, I think about that. I think that I already have. I think the more that I've driven them all, and this damn 67 I got out here, that's probably my favorite car. That's if you take my Cutlass out of it. My 72 Cutlass is my absolute baby, but actually, if the winnings are big enough, it'd be a freaking limousine with a driver. Like a Rolls Royce limousine. Just get driven out of my little shithole here and take me all the way to, take me to the Casey's down the street to get a pack of cigarettes and back. Yeah, Bayside. Yeah. I wish I could do. For a while there, I was keeping up with him. Of course, he does, a lot more than would, he does a lot more with body and stuff. I just wish I could do some stuff like that. Where he does a whole damn car in a week. I can't do that because of I'm an owner operator trucker, so it's almost impossible. Hello from Central New York, right? That's CNY. Control for, yeah. I mean, you can do the cheap. Oh my God. Car totaled by a car. That's great. That's, that is exactly the kind of couple weeks I'm having. Not quite that extreme, but same thing. Oh yeah. Leonard, I agree with you. Like right now, Javi's out there with a cover over because I need stuff that I can't afford right now. I mean, I need to get the rear end built on it, which I don't know if I'm going to put that back in it. I may have somebody make me a 9-inch or, you know, set me up an 8/8 Ford or something like that. That's a pain in the ass. An 8/8 Ford is because of the offset. But I'm I'd like to do something with her. Yeah, Rust Revival. It freaking has done nothing but rain, and it's miserable here right now. Which you're in the same boat. I mean, you're straight that way, so that's this is where I wish I had a shop. If I had a shop, we'd be doing this out in the shop while I'm working. Because I got to be up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and get my semi on a Sunday. Son of a bitch. New York City for dyslexic people, yeah. Oh yeah, you got a new one coming out tomorrow. I've actually got a video I could edit, I guess, put out. I changed the gear set and carrier and everything out of that Mustang, but put it out. The hell was that? Really? Uh, a guy I know up in Michigan just put a whole crap load of stuff in a 70, 72 or 73 AMC Hornet. And he thought it was just going to be quick throw it in. Everything's going to go right in. He's going to have it for next year for Power Tour. It still ain't done. That was 2 years ago. I don't mind the 71 to 74 suspension on this Javelin, the front end. It's fine. It does its job. I took that thing through the hills and twists and turns and shit in the mountains, and it never once even flinched. It's kind of hard to do anything if you're gonna like. I got the rear springs. You got leaf springs and stuff. So I mean, if you're gonna change all that to like a 4-link, God, you're getting way out of my. I just want mine to just run and drive. It sucks we ain't been driving the Javelin at all. She's under a cover though, because that was Amber's favorite car to drive. But now the heater core went out of it. Try looking up what a heater core costs for a 74 Javelin once. And then what a son of a bitch to get to it. Wow. I was like, yeah, you just ain't driving it in the winter no more. But Bonnie, she's got heat. She's good to go. That's all I need. About getting down to engine building time. I just got to figure out which one I'm going to build. Yeah, you're exactly right. Everything I'm saying on there, I talk to myself. If you see me put my head up and just start, I do that all the time. Zeppy's just lucky he ain't turned into my dad yet, where I start screaming and yelling like it's his fault. Oh, did he? Oh, but damn. You went live? No. Huh. Oh, he is live.
Obviously, director Brad's at the top of the list, as is showrunner Dustin, who has been with us since virtually the beginning. Those two guys, I think, are the ones, aside from Ian.
Yeah. He's a good dude. If you ever get a chance to meet him. £455 egg for the monocle, but that might take some time. Yeah, Mitchell, that's just the block will cost you a fortune. Yeah, base. When he's down at Duct Tape Drags, he was running around with the Motor Trend camera crew, and there was no Motor Trend to be found. So we knew something was up. And all of a sudden, they're selling off a bunch of the cars that were there, you know. Yeah, Bonnie's my favorite car. I go out there and start her up, take off anytime I want. Oh yeah, he's at the PRI. Yeah, Zeppy's in. Of course, I'm in the video, but well, I'm not. The ambulances. They didn't. They didn't interview me, but Zeppy's in it a little bit while they're doing Derek's Chevy. You see him right by the motor compartment. He's walking by. You know, I never watched Roadkill until 2020. The end of 2020. That's when Zeppy turned me on to it and wanted me to start this channel. Yeah, I already had Motor Trend anyway, but I really didn't. I liked Engine Masters was okay, except for, I mean, there's a lot of sponsorship parts going in on that stuff. But I like Roadkill Garage with him and Dulcich. Was that because of the uh, Dulcich's station wagon? Because he was adamant. Boy, he loved that. He loved Artemis. He like, I want to take that thing for a drive, and I told him he could. Go ahead, take it for a drive. Don't tell Amber. I wanted to get them all to sign the dash of it for her, but hell, she don't care about stuff like that. I can barely get her on a video. Hold on a minute. We'll go back here. Nope. Yeah. See, that was my. I that was my big thing is they would talk about, we can show you how to do this on the cheap with an 850 XP Holly carburetor. Excuse me? You seen the price of one of them on the cheap? No. I don't mind sponsors either, though. I mean, I have some, but nothing's free. Full disclosure, though, my buddy at Lugnut guys, they give me lug nuts for my cars, but if I just need them randomly for some crazy shit, I pay for them. I don't. They're in business to make money too, and they'll give me, he gives me free lug nuts, and I make sure I always shout out lugnutguys.com. I get Super Clean. They email me once in a while and say, "Hey, what do you need?" And I'll tell them, But most of the stuff I do, it's not free, except for when I get a free engine. A free engine, I got a free Jeep J10. That was pretty cool. I'll take those. Yeah, boy, a battery sponsor. That's probably the most expensive thing. Most of the batteries I have out there are from like 2018, and they're still going. Well, Holly, yeah, they'll tell you, it's $1,000 for the sniper kit, and then that doesn't come with all the other shit, to whereas, Aces, you can get a regular classic or a regular kill shot for $5.99 sometimes when they put them on sale. I think they're on sale right now. And then you can just get you a pump set up and make sure you got a return. You're good. Actually, Aces just did they got 3-year warranty now, limited warranty. That's unheard of. Yeah. See, that was something that always freaked me out about. Hey, Russell. The only thing I don't like about that is computers hate heat. So I don't know why anybody would want something with a computer on the throttle body. That's where the most heat. It's right under the damn, I got that external ECU that's on Artemis. I got it off to the side and up off the metal. That way air goes through it, it blows through it. But if it's right on top of the motor, I don't like that shit. Plumbing emergency. Uh-oh. I don't like those. I'm a terrible plumber. Terrible electrician, too. I had to replace the bathroom fan thingy, and we went to Menards, and there's a perfectly good one right there, $100. And then Zeppy pushes a button, and a damn Bluetooth speaker goes off, starts playing music with a night light and all that shit. That's the one we want. Okay. So I had to crawl up in the attic, start taking things apart. That took me all day Thursday. That's why I didn't work on the car Thursday. Yeah. Now, if you're going with a 289, just make sure if you're going to run that. I don't know if you're going to run it like I did with the command center, But if you're not, just make sure you do that. Just get you a damn fuel tank that's set up for EFI. It's already there. You can get that little pop-in tank. It's already got a pressure regulator in it. Just pop that in. Run hard line up to the front. Get you some PTFE or some 6AN that'll clamp on. Like a regular clamp onto metal. 3/8. It'll run great. Oh, she wants the pink one too, huh? Yeah, it's that we did that not only because we thought it was cool, but the outside of the car and all the stuff inside, that's all amber. But the engine bay, that is me, and that was actually my idea with the stuff for that my guys here at Butler made for me with the things with the woes, breast cancer awareness, because my mom died of breast cancer, my dad died of cancer. She's had family with. We just thought it would be pretty neat. If you take it to a car show, you open it up and it's pink and it's got all this stuff on it. But plus, I think part of the income from those, they give that to breast cancer awareness, or some kind of breast cancer foundation. I mean, you could build a 302 painted 1966 color. Nobody's gonna know. Because 289, I mean, good motor. First motor I ever built was a 289. You can get you a little bit more hippity hop out of a 302. Not much, but a little. Oh yeah, see, fuel injection, you can get better fuel mileage. Now we're not getting all that great because we got a 6,000-pound car, but I'm pretty sure if I had one of their guys that they trust to do it, if they set it up, I bet I could get upwards of 15, 16 mile a gallon out of that car, which is amazing. Hell, I thought 12 was amazing. Honestly, I didn't think it would. I think the best we got on one of our things was 13 and a half. 12 was the average, and it got 10 on Power Tour. Damn throat. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. Might want to keep her there then. Honestly, that might be if you're going to go with the aces. I know you want the pink one, but the Killshot Classic is actually a better, unless you're really going to hop up that 289. The Classic might be a little better for that. I mean, you can run it with the regular Killshot. Dream Project, a done one. A done one. I don't know. I've already got it out here. I drive it every day. I'd probably say the ones I haven't picked up yet that are still in the woods. I have 3 cars that I need to drag out of the woods, and I was going to do it this year before summer, but then I got too busy trying to get Artemis ready. I've got a couple, 2 or 3 AMCs to grab because I want to punish myself. But all 3 of them are pretty rare. If I can get one of those, if I can get one of them back on the road, man, I'd pat myself on the back because they're worse than Artemis was. So, but they need to be fixed. All right, we'll see you later. Get your old butt on out of here. Go to bed. Probably what I need to do in like 2 or 3 hours. Oh. I actually have 3. Same year, same car, 3 different colors. One's wrecked, one's stripped, and one's complete minus engine transmission. It's burgundy, white, red and blue, and green. If you know anything about AMC, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yes. Base, I have 3 of them. One is the classic look that everybody knows. But those are, I don't want to screw those up. If I could make one of them back to original as best I can, I'd be happy. I'd probably say that would be my dream project. If I could take one and get it on the road, look halfway decent, complete, with the hood. Gotta have the hood. Guess what? I've got the hood. So I want it all to look just not necessarily restored, just fun, drivable, you know. Maybe take it to duct tape drags, drive it all the way across the country. That'd be something. Of course, I'd get there and they'd be like, yeah, you can't run this. It's got to be $5,000 or less. The guy that has them, that I got to pick him up from, he actually has a 70 that's a 1 of 1. It was a custom order for a dealership for a salesman, and he has it. It's 1 of 1. I got those 2. I don't have the wheels, but they're there. You can only afford so much. And boy, are those wheels pricey. Hell, the wheels on Javi are 15s. Not the Rebel wheel, but just the 15 Rally. Go try to buy a set of those in good shape. Most of them had 14s. Javi has 15s from the factory. But I think what I'm going to start doing from now on is the channel isn't growing like I need it to be able to, keep buying cars. I just, parts get to it. My problem is I don't like selling them because I'm afraid somebody's going to take it and they're going to stick it back in their damn field because they don't know how to work on it. So I'm pretty set with what I have. So I think what I'm going to do is just start working on what I have, because I'd really like to put most of my attention into the Rebel machines. That's what I want to put most of my attention into. And that's going to take a long time. I mean, it's not like a Chevy or a Ford or even the Javelin. I mean, you just cannot find parts for these. 65 Chevy Impala for $1,000 right before the show Supernatural came out. 2 years later, with no more work, sold it for $20,000. Yeah, that happens a lot. See, my thing, Rust Revival, is I know by the time I can retire, if you want to call it what we can do anymore, I'm probably not going to have much. I'm a truck driver. The government's going to try to run me out of business. So I probably won't have a lot to leave my kids, but I'll have some stuff that, what they do with it after I'm gone, I don't care. But every one of these cars gets insured. They insure for $10,000 right off the bat. And that's Haggerty. They tell me what I'm insuring this car for. So, I mean, how do you, even though Bonnie's, got all that damage, how do you put a price on that? One just sold in immaculate condition over in California for like $70-some thousand, and it wasn't all original. They didn't have the original air cleaner, and I actually have the original air cleaner to that car. Yeah. See, this is what I run into too. Zeppy will be like, I can't wait till you give me this. What? What are you talking about? I'll put gas on this thing and burn it to the ground. Well, it's, I was going to talk about this, and that's why it says random angry live stream. So today I woke up this morning and I was going to go out, and I was actually going to get Blanche out, our Ranchero. I was going to just drive her. She got heat, I can drive it. And I thought, oh man, I bet I didn't get my new insurance card. So I get on my app for State Farm, and I can't find Blanche. I can't find Javi. I can't find Oogie, the Malibu. I can't find, what else was on there? The Mustang that Skylar's driving. Could find them. They weren't on there. And of course, it's Saturday, so State Farm's closed. So I'm like, what the fuck? I was pissed off. So right away, my day started as I'm pissed. So I couldn't get a hold of nobody. I tried to call my insurance agent. I've known him my whole life. And then I started going through all my emails, right? Like, what the hell? Look up State Farm. Because we dropped this certain type of classic car insurance, we no longer have these cars on our, that was it. No phone call. No nothing. What they had done, though, is they had switched to Haggerty. They ran through Haggerty now. State Farm does. They don't have their own classic car insurance. So I right away, well, shit. So I get up and I get on my phone. I look up Haggerty and boom, 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 boom. I go through, did all the crap, put all 4 cars on there. And it was like, where did it come to? For those 4 cars, for classic car insurance, it came to like $1,000 a year. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do that, definitely. And they let me pay it in increments instead of monthly. So I just made a big payment. And hey, Jeff, how you doing? I'd made a big payment. I'm good till whenever. They're all covered. The thing that I like about it, I was looking through the site, is right now I could insure the 73, the convertible, everything that's out there. I can put it as a build. And it's like $3 or $4 a month. Well, shit. I wish I'd have known that because I'd have done it before the tree limb fell on this damn car. But the only reason, Mitchell, that I had State Farm to begin with is because I have my house insurance and it made it cheaper to put them all together. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't watch that Mortsky thing. I seen where he got arrested but yeah, I went ahead and did it. It was cheaper. I mean, the Cutlass. I also have the Cutlass, the ambulance, and Bonnie. They're all three, but it's through State Farm. But if they're going to do me that kind of dirty and just knock these things off without, hey, I've known you my whole life. Hey, Jay, we got to drop these cars. You want to hurry up and get it? We were still driving them. I just figured my insurance guy was taking care of me. Yeah, build coverage. Yeah, my problem wasn't Haggerty. This was State Farm. State Farm let it lapse. It wasn't in the bill because I had called them to put to drop the Cutlass's insurance down because it was too high. It was regular liability. And I'm not driving it, so why the hell have that? And I went to go get it swapped off there, and I thought, hey, my insurance is all going to go down. No, it went up. Thanks, Biden. Calm down. Yeah, it's a build coverage. I'd have to look it up. I've never used it, but I wish I would have. I could use it on a bunch of shit. Like literally on a bunch of shit. It's Haggerty roof collapse. Protect your classic from storms, rodents, roof collapses. Yeah, I'd have to look it up. I don't remember. But you'd have to. But I'm glad I did it, though. Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I was not even a damn, and that's how my day started. Yeah, it is kind of like a storage coverage, but it's literally if you got it up on blocks and you're just working on it, they'll cover it. It could be a year or 2 years before you get it out, which God, I'd hope not. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I was like, hell, I'll do that on a couple of cars out here, especially the ones that are all under the trees. I already went out to that convertible, and a tree limb about that big around, about that long, fell and went right through the top, right through the damn convertible top. Like, yeah. Again, can't afford a shop, can't afford a big carport. Need to find some land where there's nothing on top of it, just wide open space. Yeah, see, no garage. State Farm won't do that for me. But here's how I know. I had my band trailer back out here. I don't own that trailer. It has PA equipment, a bunch of different shit in it. And it was out here and a big storm come through, knocked a tree limb down, crushed the top of that thing. Called State Farm. They're like, well, that's not your trailer, so that's not covered by your homeowners. And I said, what the hell are you talking about? It's on my property. My buddy dropped it off. The goddamn tree blew over, and one of the limbs come over and hit the top of it and crushed it. That should be covered. No, it's not covered. That should be on him. He should have insurance on it. I said, well, what if someone's walking down the goddamn street and one of my limbs of a tree falls on them? No, they wouldn't be covered. What the hell do I have homeowners insurance for? You know, why? Why am I paying all this premium crap and y'all ain't going to take care of it? It's such a scam, man. Oh, yeah. USAA. It's like I call up, I'm an owner operator, call up about health insurance because our lovely insurance system that we have. And I call it up for me and Zeppelin. Wow. $9,000 deductible, $1,000 a month. Like, are you? I mean, insurance is such a scam. You pay and pay and pay and pay and pay and pay, and then you never use it. But the one time that you call them, oh, nope, they found an excuse. They'll find an excuse that says they don't have to cover it. I've chewed out a couple of insurance companies. Doesn't do any good. They just go, yeah, I don't care. And they click. Excuse your language. What's up, mongrels? Hey, everybody. Come hang out for a little bit. Yeah. You're exactly right, Kyle. Exactly right. There's loopholes all through the fine print. And they are extremely good at letting you know about it and laughing at you. Oh, you paid us thousands of dollars and then you had a little bit of water damage, huh? Well, maybe you should have bent that gutter just that little bit. If you'd have bent that gutter just a little bit, that's on you. That's not, give me a damn break. A foot of snow? Nope. You ain't coming on here. That shit will probably come right through the screen. Hey, you damn Canucks are used to that shit, though. I have never used chains on a semi in my life. Matter of fact, I've never used them on a car. We die like men here. It gets icy out. You just floor it and hope for the best. Turn lightly. We're supposed to get all that snow Thursday. I really don't want it. Snow's only fun when you're a kid. Notice that. The older I got, I was like, this shit ain't no fun no more. Oh, that's because I got to drive to work in it. I got to clean the driveway and I got to clean the sidewalks and dig the doors out, uncover the cars. Damn, they covered that too? Lucky you. Yeah, all my projects are outdoor, except for the one I just did. That don't look like snow. That looks like a damn Chevy Pontiac in green.
Well, that's a Chevy Pontiac, but what we've got outside, that's a lot of snow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
A little early for you guys or about right on time?
Well, this much snow is very unusual. It's a lot of snow right now. It's like I said, it's at least a foot, not more.
Jesus. Yeah, we don't get that much. We did in 78 when I was a kid. I remember I had to mom open the window. I was about 3 or 4 years old. Mom opened the window and there was snow. And she said, here, dig your way out. You know where that bush is. Go around.
Yeah, well, I went to fire up the tractor to move it around dig myself out. And I was like, nope, I'm just going to go back inside. That's
Right.
too much.
Yeah, as Amber was telling me that we're getting some Thursday maybe. So we've seen a little bit here, but it like just kind of misted some snow and that was the end of it.
I was asleep.
Blizzard of 78. Yep, you are correct. That was
I know some of the snowstorms that they used to get out on the East Coast are crazy, like at bury houses, right?
yeah.
But usually, like we get a fair bit of snow, and then it warms up, it goes away, it snows some more, it goes away, it kind of comes and goes where we are because we get the Chinook winds. But it's been pretty constant, right temperature for a lot of snow right now.
Yeah, it's been hovering right above freezing here.
Okay.
It'll go up during the day, but at night, like you can just feel it. Like if it was a rainy, it'd be snowing like hell right now.
Yep. Yeah.
But
yeah, exactly. When we were 6, it was a lot.
yeah, when you're 6,
Yeah.
Blizzard of 78 was great when I was 6. Igloo cities. Yep. We did it. We got out pots and pans and made all kinds of damn igloos and stuff like that. There's another Canadian.
Yeah, well, there's a few of us around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't realize where Dan and Danny were moving to. They moved closer to you, didn't they?
they're very close to where I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly where he lives. I don't know him that well, but I know the area, so
Yeah.
I've got a pretty good idea where he's at. But you just don't. I'm not going to go hunt him down or anything. If they want to invite me over, that's fine.
Last time he was down here, I talked to him and Danny at Power Tour, and they said, yeah, we'd love to move closer to this. And then they moved further away.
Yeah, they did.
They went
Actually,
the complete opposite way. And I was like, yeah, you ain't get any closer. That's a hell of a drive now to come all the way down here.
well, that's kind of like me. There's days I'd really like to move a lot closer to everything else in the States, but I'd probably move to. I've got a few places in mind, like Arizona would be one. kind of like the drier climates, but I kind of like the Tennessee area too.
Yeah.
It's a nice area.
There's like when we were out that way for when we went to Tucson, you get to I can't say I'd want to live there, but to go there once in a while if you're close enough to some of this stuff. Oh, they're live too. Over there.
Yeah, I think I seen them doing a live. Well, the thing is, I wouldn't want to live in Tucson or Phoenix. I'd like to live a little more north, like Prescott Valley or something like that, where you actually get some cool temperatures. You don't.
Right.
Where I think that'd probably be, or actually, ideally, I'd like to have a place here and a place there. Stay here in the summer and there in the winters.
Well, you're a damn aeronautics mechanic, ain't you?
Yeah.
You got all kinds of money.
Yeah, but I don't wrench on the planes anymore. I'm all regulatory now. I work for the government. I'm the guy that makes sure the guys do their job.
Oh, so you're the finger pointer now, huh?
Yeah, well, I'm kind of like I work for transportation, right? So
we always made the joke because I worked for the state of Illinois through my trucking company, doing a lot of roads and stuff like that. Always made the joke that you had one guy shoveling and 10 guys pointing fingers at each other.
I don't think that's a joke. I think that's exactly how it goes. Yeah. Well, I guess like my role would be similar to, Transport Canada is the same as the FAA. That's who I work for. I work for the Canadian version of the FAA.
Yeah. You guys are having as much fun up there as we have been for the last year.
Yeah, well, the thing about that is often what happens down there affects what happens up here. So,
and it's definitely affecting what's happening up there. It's also happening in England. It's happening in Germany.
Yeah,
it's happening everywhere.
Well,
I never get real too far. I mean, I am very political, but not on here.
No,
I just tell people all the time, if you got the right to vote, you need to vote. I don't give a damn who you vote for, just vote. If you have the right to vote, because a lot of people don't have that right. So
exactly, yeah, exercise that right. I mean, it's the same up here. I mean, we get our right to vote, so I exercise that right. And you're right, I don't typically get too political on the YouTube, but anyone that knows me knows my leanings.
You can probably guess mine.
No, I know yours too. Yeah. I'm in Alberta.
Calgary, it would surprise you though. I wasn't always that way. It wasn't till about 2008 that I really started. I was always in the middle. I mean, but it wasn't until about 2008 that I started like, I'm not liking this. This ain't what I signed up for.
Well, I think it depends. Like, I was fairly middle, and I probably still am. Like, when you go through traditional politics, I would probably be very central. But nowadays, that's not middle anymore.
Saskatchewan.
Oh, he's next door.
Yeah.
What part of Saskatchewan? Are you from the part that rhymes with fun?
I don't really know anything about Canada other than your parliament is hilarious to watch.
Oh, it is, yes.
Go back and forth. It is. And but I'll listen to both of them and then I'll go, what?
Yeah.
What the hell? That's my reaction, and I'll start laughing. I was like,
yeah, they don't give direct responses. They don't give direct responses at all. It's like, tell me what you're going to do about the housing crisis. Well, you see, we're going to combat climate change. What? How's that address the housing crisis?
Yeah. You know what? We had somebody that sounded just like that.
Yeah. You did, yeah.
You see,
well, technically you
I was
still
raised in a
until-
middle-class family, although she was in Canada in a private school.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well.
Battleford. Why don't you just put 3 names all in one? I mean,
well, that's we like to do stuff like that there.
yeah.
And lots of forts. Fort Calgary, Fort Saskatchewan, Fort blah blah blah, Fort McLeod. What really gets you messed up is when they start saying like Edmonton Trail, but that's in Calgary. But when then you go to Calgary Trail and that's in Edmonton. Stuff like that.
You guys just are the epitome of you drive in a parkway and park in a driveway.
Pretty much, yeah.
You just kind of went with that.
Well, you gotta listen to like us Canadians. We kind of confuse the poor Americans down there sometimes when we start chatting. Because most of the time we're very similar, but then when you get into certain words like about, roof, stuff like that,
right,
it really messes people up sometimes.
Yeah. Of course, most Americans know the Canadian language by, was it South Park?
Oh, probably. Well, you got the stereo. There's the stereotype. Oh, how's it going? Hey, what you up to? Oh, where are you to?
Yeah. What was that damn the brothers?
Oh, Bob and Doug McKenzie.
McKenzie's, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Take off, eh? Oh, totally, eh?
Who the hell says hoser every 5 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys gave us Sebastian Bach. You can take him back.
No, thanks. Strange Brew, yep.
That just came up on my Prime Video or something like that to watch. I haven't seen it for years.
Strange Brew? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That was a classic. I don't know if that would hold up, though.
I don't, I believe it or not, I don't watch a lot of car content at all. I think I'm so sick of filming it myself that I'm just like, I don't want to watch other people. I mean, I do, but I don't just randomly watch it. I like watching reaction videos. Like
Fair enough.
Gen Z watching old music like from the 80s. I've never heard of AC/DC.
Oh, really?
I turn it on and they're just amazed.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, because your music sucks.
I watch reaction videos too. Particularly, I watch reaction videos to car content. There's this one channel I really enjoy, Irish Outlaw. He reacts like none other, I tell you.
Yeah. I actually thought about doing that. Somebody said, you know what, as much as you smart ass bitch about everything, you should do a reaction video. And I said, man, I'd make a lot of enemies doing that.
Well, all I have to do is bring you a fuel pump and watch the reaction on your face, right? Or bring a carburetor, watch the reaction.
Go to like the Holly channel with their carburetor or something like that. Do it. Oh, really? Is that how it's supposed to work? That easy? Yeah, let me show you something, then pop off to my video.
Yeah.
You are liars. Yeah, I try not to watch it. Zeppy, though, it's all he watches.
Yeah.
Cars.
Well, that's good.
I like watching that, and I watch a lot of true crime. I watch. I got a couple of political leaning shows that I watch. And,
yeah, me too.
But other than that, I mean, I watch what you put out. I watch, Austin, Buff, everybody that I'm friends with, because I'm trying to help support them by watching.
Oh yeah, and it's appreciated. Thank you.
And I got all day, so it's like I don't watch it going down the road though. I listen.
Yeah.
But I watch that. And I watch a lot of military, like World War II, stuff like that.
Nerds. Car nerds, I guess.
I'd take that from a bass player.
Yeah.
Just pluck your 4 little strings and
I'm not gonna get. Hey,
nerd.
still more than I can do. I am tone deaf, man. I can't play an instrument to save my life.
Well, that makes 2 of you.
Yeah.
Ha! Call me a nerd.
Yeah.
No, that's unfortunately my thing is I can pick up about everything and play it if I wanted to.
Well, that's good.
But I can only focus on one thing at a time, and I have to breathe. I have to walk. So,
yeah. Well, it's good to see you getting the car running anyways.
What's that?
It was good to see you get the car running. And,
the 73?
Yeah. But I was kind of laughing because it's like so much for the father-son project. I'm like, oh, that rings home.
Yeah. It was supposed to be, and then his ass is in here the whole time.
Yeah. But you're out there in the rain and everything. I was like, oh, good job, man.
Yeah. Notice I said that, and that's just me talking. I wasn't talking to the camera. So much for goddamn father-son. I was just
I could
that.
I could tell.
I was like, yeah, so much for father-son project. I was out there today with it. Got the transmission and everything all hooked up and full, and got a drive shaft in it, which that's a whole other story. But I got the drive shaft in it, and he come out there and helped me with something. Oh, I said, watch to see if the wheels are turning. When I started it up, put it in gear.
Yeah.
Are they turning? Yep. Shut the car off, turned around, he's gone. I was like,
yeah.
That's it. That's all I get.
Yeah, that's about the same with me and my kid too. He'll come out for a little bit. It's nice to have his help, but you turn around and he's gone. It's like, where'd he go?
Well, I have to, I don't want him around when I'm moving that motor and
fair
all
enough.
that kind of shit. Everything I'm doing is underneath the car right now.
Yeah.
So,
well, hold on. Moving the motor. You didn't move the motor. You moved the car.
Yeah, I moved the car. I had somebody commented on that. I've never seen.
Oh, really?
That pulled the car to the motor.
Yeah, I was laughing. I was like,
well, see, I had never really showed how I do that. You know what I mean? I've always just shown me and getting it up, and I'll put it over the top of the car, and then it's just down in the car.
Yeah.
Because who the hell wants to watch 30 minutes of me cussing, bitching, and luckily I didn't cuss and bitch too much. I just dropped it down, but usually I do it out further. Usually I'm about 5 foot more out, and I use more of the 10 to get it out there.
Yeah.
But that is exactly how I do it. When I pull an engine, I hook the side-by-side to the back of the car, and I'll lift it up, and Zeppelin will pull out, and if I'm doing it by myself, well, you can see me do it in that my very first video, pulling the motor out of that ambulance. I actually did. Before that, my Bronco to him.
All I know is I was thinking to myself, if I win the lottery, I'm coming down there and I'm building you a shop.
I don't know if I'd be any fun if everything went easy, though.
Yeah, I got the eye rolls for my daughter too, Rust. I can get her out there to help me bleed brakes or something, but that's about as far as that goes.
Yeah. I don't. When Zeppy gets a little older, just a little bit, I want him to be able to stand up himself, be able to lift things, jack the car up before I'll let him anywhere underneath that car, because most of the times you'll notice if I'm under, you may not see it in camera, but there's a jack right there. I can reach my hand out and jack it up because I've had that goddamn ambulance just fell on me twice.
I remember that. I remember when the jack stands gave out on it, and
I mean, I'm just being careful with him. If we're doing stuff like that video where he's helping me clean out the inside, he's right there, you know. But when the car's in the air, I don't want him anywhere near the bottom side of that car.
Yeah, I always do the well, it's a little harder where you are. You get the gravel and stuff, but that's why I'm happy I've got the shop now, and I've made some big planks and stuff to put the jack stands on top to spread the load out.
Right.
And so I always give it the shake test and the bounce test and all that, and before I ever crawl under the thing.
RV repair. What?
Nice.
All we do to RVs is rip the engines out of them.
Well, they had they had big blocks in them typically, so that's what they were good for.
The cherry picker on sheet metal over gravel, come here car.
Yeah.
I almost, if I haven't been, I've never have done it, but take something out of somewhere and splice it in my video. I was going to put Scorpion, get over here.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't do it. That was actually, I was going to do it, but I decided not to use that. But yeah, I've done, everybody said, you should put some of that stuff in there. I'm like, I'm already using way too much time to edit the way it is.
I don't know how you guys do it, honestly. I'm looking at all these channels and they're doing, like, including yourself, doing over an hour. Because I have a hard enough time editing a 20-minute video.
See, this sounds amazing. But why? Why didn't you just go get a new van? Or, you know, something else. That doesn't sound fun.
No. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Or was it was the Windstar rear wheel drive?
Well, I think some of them were, some of them weren't. I know the Windstar, because the Ford had the stupid thing. They had the 3.8 liter. They had a front wheel version and a rear wheel drive version.
Aerostar.
The blocks were marked. And they didn't interchange, which was stupid.
Yeah. I hate front wheel drive transmissions. I won't touch them. I've done them. I had to when I was a mechanic, but it was rear wheel drive. Okay. That wouldn't have been too bad, but I mean, still blizzard and slanted on gravel. So,
Well,
you know, that's how I like to party. If mine isn't slanted like this, where the front of the car is here, mine's slanted like this. So the car's face, it's heading downhill.
Sorry, finish him.
Yeah.
Well, you would have loved what
we're all been there.
I bought a Dodge Dart, not a classic one. We're talking a newer one. Just I wanted something fuel efficient that I could run back and forth to work. And since the Charger smoked the deer, or the deer smoked the Charger, I had to replace it. So I got a little 1.4 turbo Dart. And I got it home. I looked at the timing belt. I'm like, that's probably the worst timing belt I have ever seen without one snapping. So I changed that. And then I got all that working. And I was like, okay, let's start driving this thing. Well, then the clutch went to the floor. I'm like, oh, damn it. So I pull the transaxle, as you're saying, the miserable job, right? I pull the transaxle out and get in there. It's a brand new clutch. Now, I could tell when I got into this thing that someone had been in there before because nothing was put back together, right? There was loose bolts, wiring was out of place, just all sorts of a mess. So I get in there and I find out that the clutch has been changed. And so I start swearing and cursing. And so I got to put this stupid thing all back together. And in the process of changing the clutch, I started it with the timing cover off, and something dropped down into the belt and spit back out. But I didn't notice that so I take it out for a test drive after I get this thing all back together. It's got no power, turbo won't spool, it's in a limp mode. What happened is, I guess whatever the little piece of metal went through the belt caused it to skip a couple teeth.
Oh, shit.
So then I have to take half the engine apart to reset the timing on it. And then I got the clutch bled, and I finally got the engine working, got the clutch bled, and I take it out for test drive. Boom, the clutch goes to the floor again. And I'm mad. I'm ready to burn this thing to the ground. And I finally, what it was is these things have a stupid little, the clutch line clips into the slave cylinder. It's got a little spring clip that retains the line in there. And when you bleed this thing, you just got to push down the spring clip, pop the line back, and it lets the fluid bleed out. And so if you do that enough times, you stretch the spring clip. And so it won't latch the line anymore. So it'll partially grab it, but then you actuate the pedal a couple times and pops the line out. So eventually what I ended up doing is taking a tie wrap, wrapping around the line and the bottom of the spring clip and just keeping it clamped tight until I could actuate the pedal a few times. And it finally worked. And I was like, holy geez, what a nightmare.
Yeah. New stuff. Now look at this. Lived in LA for years, had a real scare while under the Le Mans during an earthquake.
Ooh.
Never saw a big guy crawl that fast. Well, me and you's about the same size. And I'm Russ Revival here. He's got a channel too.
Yeah.
We're talking out at Pontiac Nationals. And the first time that Artemis fell, say here's the nose, I had two here, two here. I'm underneath it with a torch trying to get the exhaust out of it. This is when I first started working on the car. I have a torch in my hand. I'm underneath the car trying to cut the exhaust off of it. It starts going like this. And I'm underneath with a torch. The body of the car is right here. Oh, son of a bitch. And I chucked the torch, right? And I'm going to slide out from under the car. Little did I know, the torch lines had wrapped around my foot.
Oh, no.
So I threw it back like that, and I was going to try to slide out of the car, but when I did, I kicked my foot, and that torch come flying right past my face.
Oh, geez.
Hit the bottom of the car and got me right in the arm. I still have a scar from it. It come down, just burned like down my arm, and this is all still happening while the car go like this. And I slide my ass out. My arm come out, and the car went.
Jeez. Lucky, man.
That was the first time. The second time, I had 6 freaking jack stands under that car. 6. 2 in the front of the frame, 2 in the middle, 2 in the back. This shit ain't happened to me again, right? I had a door open, and I was crawling out from underneath it. I was putting the carrier bearing in it, and I grabbed the car to drag myself out. This thing weighs 6,000 pounds. It ain't going nowhere. Bullshit. I grabbed the side, went to pull myself off, and it pulled that. The car went, if you're looking at the nose, it went like this.
Jeez.
It's like,
twice.
I had concrete underneath the jack stands. They weren't
Oh,
going
really?
anywhere. I shook the piss out of that car, and there's been a couple times where I'd be underneath it. You see them videos you see where and you wrench it under the car, and they look, and the dog's holding it up,
Yeah, yeah.
Well, there's a couple times I'll be underneath there, and I hear, I'll be like, I mean, it was like somebody put a rocket on the back of my neck, and I just flew out from underneath the car. So I've had some close cars with that one. The only other one that's ever done it is Blanche. Blanche actually went forward and down, but that was my own fault because I was just doing it quick so I could get underneath, and I didn't put anything underneath the jack stands, and it just.
Oh, yeah.
I had it running, and the torque of the motor, I went, whoa, and it said, Zeppy was in the garage, thank God. That's what I mean. I don't need him underneath it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, well, I see Ole's on here making comments about Fords. He's right. I wouldn't have those problems if I had a Ford Focus. It would just be permanently dead in the driveway. So,
yeah. Yep.
Well, funny thing is, I was doing a 2013 Chevy or 2012 Chevy GM, whatever. Just did an engine change for my buddy, and I had forgotten we put it on jack stands because we just put it up enough to unload the suspension so we could easily get in and out.
Right.
But when you get out, it looks like the truck's sitting normal, right? And so I hop in this thing to back it out after the engine change swap is done. Like, what the hell is it? Are the brakes dragging? Why is this thing not moving? So I give it a little more gas. Like, bang. Oh yeah, jack stands.
That's funny. I've done some dumb shit. I mean, we all have. If you haven't, I forgot to put the lugs on a wheel once.
That's not good.
Dropped it down, went to go back out of the driveway, and boom, down on the frame she went.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
That's better than the lugs backing their way off while you're cruising down the highway, though.
Or breaking off.
Yeah, or breaking off, yep.
That's happened to me once on a Fox body. My wheel went flying over an overpass down onto the interstate and went bouncing down the interstate.
Yeah, well, it's the four lug pattern on the Fox body? Yeah.
Yeah. It was an 83 GT. I was just driving. I wasn't doing anything crazy. I was just coming. There's an overpass over an interstate, and all of a sudden my car went to the ground, and I watched my rear tire and wheel, the old Outlaw 2s, went flying over the fence, bounced down the hill, hit the interstate, made like a 30-foot bounce, and just kept going. I was like, Called up the local tire. Hey, I need an Outlaw 2 15 by.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to it. I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah.
But I put my spare on, drove it home. Yeah, Artemis did do that on Power Tour. The lugs all broke off. Thank God we were on an exit ramp when it happened. And not doing 70 in that damn thing. I kept everywhere now. It's got its own special lug wrench. It's underneath the seat.
Yeah.
Every so often you get out and you
just double check
all the way to Tucson.
Yeah.
Big James. Holy shit. SSR Performance. Oh, you're professional now, huh? No more ratting around on the racetrack. SSR Performance. What is that, your shop? By the way, since you're in here.
Oh, nice.
I still got it right here where I always do my lives.
Very nice.
I keep it right here on the table next to me. My awesome trophy.
Are you going to do duct tape again next year?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. I'm going to try to make it next year.
Official shop page. Well, what the hell? Thank you, Gordon.
Is it Thanksgiving down there? I guess it is, isn't it?
What's that now?
Is it Thanksgiving down there? I guess it is, isn't it?
Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah. Well, happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, man. My merch link. I haven't talked about my merch in so long because I absolutely hate what I'm doing. It's a Printify store. It's but I'm telling you right now, you can get this shirt all you want. And they're great. They do a great job. But the plain one with the Irish Outlaw Garage, my logo that Amber made, they can't get that shit right. They'll print. I sent them the black with the white, with the cross and all that stuff on it. And it specifically says in the orders, do not print the black. Just print the white. They can do that. First bunch of runs of them people got, they loved them. And all of a sudden they started getting them with the black. You can see the black square around the white.
Oh, really?
And all that ink.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're just, Hold on a minute. I'll give it to you. It's I'm working on the same guys that do the same people that do do Dalton's has me a site made up. They're just so busy with Dalton, and I've been too busy to give them ideas for logos. So anybody wants to try and make me a new logo, or some shirt ideas, email me, irishoutlaw.garage@gmail.com. I may consider it, because I don't have time. Please verify I'm human. Well, oh,
Good luck with that one.
sometimes I wonder. I said sign in.
Well, happy birthday, Gordon.
Yeah, no shit. Happy birthday. 65. Boy, you old bastard. You got one leg in the grave, don't you?
Well, look who's talking here.
I'm not that far off.
Yeah, we're not.
I think after 40, age just becomes, it depends. Some of us end up like this when we're 50. Some of us are like this when we're 30. Yeah, man, if you can come up with something, I will take any kind of, I don't want to see the new look. I want my goddamn dashboard. See, I'm going to waste all my time looking up this stupid. Come on. Manage my stores. Aha! There it is. Now let's see if I can type. Which
Good luck.
I think. Yeah, let's do that.
Which car are you going to take next year? Give any thought to that?
I don't know yet. I've got an idea. What is that? It's excuse me, Irish. I'm trying to do this real quick. I just don't know if I'm going to have my Rebel machines by then.
Oh, okay. Okay.
If I could have one of them, yeah, I would possibly think about it. Maybe taking that one. Or maybe I'd just take this damn 73 Chevelle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I know you said you're not taking Artemis again.
No.
Yeah.
No. It might make it back up to Pontiac Nationals, but I don't know yet. I've got another car in New Mexico I need to go get too.
How long does it take you to get to Norwalk from where you are?
3 or 4 hours.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Takes me a little bit longer.
Yeah, it'd probably take you a little bit.
Actually, I can make it there in 3 or 4 hours too.
Well, yeah, no fair.
Depends
Stop a damn plane right there.
Yeah, it depends how good the tailwind is.
I think I don't have it right offhand, and I don't want to. I think this is it. I think that's it. But the one that looks like that right there, don't get it. I'm telling you that right now. Do not get it. I need to take it off there, because if they can't get it right, if they're too stupid to know that you don't print the black on a black shirt, I mean, Jesus.
Well, Russ says he's 2 hours. He's in Ohio, so that explains why he's Rust Revival. Then he's right in the Rust Belt.
Yeah. I've actually got a car in New Mexico I need to go get.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 71 Pontiac Le Mans.
Well, you know what you do? You get the truck done. You get a trailer. You can bring the truck down to duct tape, and you haul the car back.
Or I bring a trailer with the truck,
Uh-huh.
and I pick up the car and go to duct tape drags, get it running, and race it.
Well, there's that too. Yeah. Well, the truck's a good backup in case you can't get it going.
Only black and white shirts. Are you talking about these? There should be. Hell, you can get purple and all kinds of crap. Should be. If not, let me look here. I don't mind looking. No, I definitely don't want to create any more products with you fuckers. My products. Here we go. Custom tee. If you click on it, it should give you. Yeah, all the colors are down at the bottom. It comes in two different kinds of grays and purple. I also had amber, but yeah, it comes in black. There's a charcoal and a gray, a regular gray, and purple. I think amber's the only one with a purple one. Yeah, I always wanted to go up there to Roadkill Nights, but I never made it. And well,
Yeah.
that's.
I don't know if they're going to have that anymore, being as all the shows are done.
Yeah.
They might still have the event, though. I don't know.
Yeah, but see, they didn't even have it where they actually moved it last year or this year.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they didn't have it on the road out there.
They didn't have it on Woodward. Really?
Nope.
Huh.
Yeah, the logo shirt's only in black, but I don't understand why they. I appreciate that. If you want to get one, I keep them fairly cheap. I really don't make any money off of them. They're just. As a matter of fact, I don't make any money at all off of this. Spend a lot of money on this. That's how it goes, though, man.
Well, at least you get a bit of a tax write-off with it, I suppose, doing the YouTube.
But yeah, my biggest problem is no shop. If I had a shop, I could do this shit all night until I have to get in the semi. But when it gets like this out,
Well, that's what I finally decided. That's why I haven't been putting much content out. I've been working on the shop, trying to get it up so I can get. I got a lot of stuff on the in the can that I haven't edited yet. I'm having a hard time motivating myself to even edit stuff nowadays.
yeah, holy shit. What is going on? Like I said, I've got a video. I've actually got 2 or 3 that I could edit. And I'm just sick. I'm sick of editing. You know how long it takes me to bleep my video?
A lot longer than it takes me.
I had some people, very Christian folks that watch the channel, and I respect them totally. I don't have anything against all that. They asked me if I would bleep out goddamn, because I say, oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
And it's never in a hateful manner. It's, oh, God damn it. And I started to bleep that out. Well, I noticed that I say that 5,000 times in an hour video, and I'm like, it takes me 45 minutes to go back through and bleep all that.
Oh, thanks, Base.
But yeah, I just, the only thing I'll bleep out now is the F-bombs. That's it.
Yeah.
I can understand if I was at this thing and say I was at Dalton's level. You don't want to screw up at that level. You don't want to get demonetized.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not worried about it yet. If they've never demonetized me for my mouth. You know, the only time I've ever been demonetized is they heard something in the background that sounded like a music, like some song, and then I'd fight it and it'd go right through. You know,
Right. Yeah.
but by then everybody watched it, so I don't get the monetization from. And if you take it down and then try to put it back up, then they get you on that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I do okay with editing. It's not that I don't mind it. It's just I'm sick and tired by the time I get halfway through my own video. Like, you suck.
Yeah.
Why are you still doing this?
Well, I've got one that I was working.
I watch my own video and go, "What the hell are you doing?"
I just did one where I tried a couple camera angles. So I was recording 2 different angles at the same time, so I can cut back and forth to do an A and a B roll.
Yeah.
So that's the one I need to, and that was a BTR Truck Norris cam swap in a 2017 GMC, which turned out I didn't have to do that cam swap at all, but that's a whole nother story I'll get into later. And I just it was all high def. So it's all like high definition video, and there's just hours of footage. And I'm like, oh man, I don't want to sit through this and try to figure out.
Oh yeah. See, I that's like me. I do these when we do the long trips to Tucson. If you watch this year's compared to last year's, huge difference. Even the Pontiac Nationals video where I'm showing in car, out of car, in car, out of car when I'm driving down the road and music's playing, all that shit. And I'm like, This year we was getting ready to, me and Zeppy was getting ready to leave, and I gassed up the car. And I had 2 GoPros going, and I had all this shit. And I'm like, click, click, the hell with this. I'll just do everything with the big camera. And I did a little bit, the very beginning. But I personally don't want to sit there and watch a car going real fast while music's playing. That ain't Motley Crue or AC/DC or. By the way, I did figure out I could get a couple of songs that I would love to use. It would cost me a little bit, but I could use them.
Well, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
You figure that out, let me know. There's a couple I wouldn't mind trying for too. I have a hard enough time just trying to get I don't know how people put normal songs on their Instagram. I always see these guys with their short videos and they've got a popular song. Yeah. I can't do it. I don't know how to do it.
I figured it out. I mean, it's these damn kids. They just pop. My, Zeppy's like, Dad, it's like this.
Yeah. Well, you're supposed to link it to Spotify or something. I don't know. No clue.
Well, you go up and you push sound or the music note.
Yeah.
And then you type in and it'll give you like sections, or you can adjust it to where you want it to come in. And
well, I can put the music, but I can't put some people are linking stuff from Spotify and stuff to their.
Oh yeah, I don't know how the hell to do that.
I don't know. I haven't got a clue how to do that.
I have no idea.
So, like you said, they've got AC/DC linked on their video for their Instagram account. I don't know how to do that. No clue.
I don't even know how to put my YouTube channel videos on my goddamn Instagram.
Well, you can't.
I mean, people use these little things they'll put on them.
Well, the links, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to link it.
No, I don't know how to do that either. That's beyond my knowledge. And I just do the old links in the bio if I have to do that.
I quit putting shit on Instagram and TikTok and all this shit. I had that little bitty video. I made a joking video of Zeppelin when he said, "Pray it up when I tell you," and the flames.
Yeah.
TikTok nailed me for that one. It had 450,000 views in 10 minutes. That is the most I've ever had, and they
Wow.
took it down. They said it standards practice dangerous whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, well, where's the? I always see these boxing things that said performed by professional. I've been doing pyro and sound for 25, 30 years. I'm
Yeah.
kind of a pro. Where do I get to push that? Because that was awesome. Like 400, I was like, what the hell just happened? There was likes for, I mean, it was the most that I'd ever had, and everybody loved it. And all of a sudden, they just took it down. But YouTube still has it on, and Instagram still has it on. But TikTok took it down. Of all things where you can have people getting hit in the nuts and cut up and boobs and
I know.
kind of shit, but I couldn't have me playing around with two flames, fake ones, by the way, shooting out of the damn car.
That's crazy. Well, and I never did get into Instagram ever. I don't have an account, never did, never will. It's just, or not Instagram, TikTok. That's just not one that interests me at all.
I don't know. I like scrolling through it while I'm laying in bed or, you know.
Well, what I like doing is I like watching the YouTube videos where they recap what people are doing on TikToks.
Yeah. I've done some of that. Lipstick. Jesus. You guys in your expensive parts. Mad Scientist Garage just messaged me. He had really, really fancy headers and really, really fancy exhaust on a lift. I can't relate to you, John.
I hate to agree with no garage, but yep.
You're probably right.
Probably right.
Hell, at one time, everybody thought he was a girl.
But when he had his long hair?
Down to here, and they'd say, hello, little girl, how are you? And he'd be like, oh, boy. Oh.
Did he get a haircut shortly after?
Yeah, he's got the same haircut all the other kids now have, the alpaca look, where it's like poofy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Takes amber. He don't know how to do it, so. See, this is some bullshit. Look at that.
I believe him. I totally believe him.
Hey, I know the headers, though. That's the headers that are on the Chevelle out here. They were $187.
You got that alpaca peeking beside you.
Yeah, I know. He's right here. Look at alpaca. Let me get this out of the way. You can come in here and say hi. Prince in there.
You gonna go help your dad get your car done or what?
It was supposed to be father-son project.
I seen a lot of father, not a lot of son on that one. Come on, Seth. You got to pick it up, buddy.
Yeah. He gets the day off again tomorrow. And then he had yesterday off because it's deer season. Our school let him out of school for deer season.
Yeah, fair enough.
And he has today and then Sunday, and then he's off, what, Wednesday? You come home?
We get out early.
Yeah. We get out early on Wednesday.
Well, he's getting pretty good with that tractor and stuff, though, too. Just watching you drive that, dad balancing it, standing on the back.
Yeah. Yeah, they asked what we were going to take next year to duct tape drags. Hey, Brent had a great idea. We get Mom's truck, we finish it, and we put a trailer behind it, and we pick up that Le Mans on the way. And we can get it going at duct tape drags. I'm not sure I want to let that car sit down there that much longer. It sucks owning something that's 900 miles from you.
Yeah, that's true. I was actually thinking about taking a trip down that way during the Christmas break. I'm just not sure how the roads are going to be going through the mountains in Montana there. So,
yeah, I don't know. What you need to do is just move down there, and then you don't have to worry about it. If you want to, you can go to the mountains and see snow.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said.
If you miss your Canadian lifestyle, you can just go up to the mountains.
I won't miss this much snow. Like, seriously, buried right now.
So Zeppelin decided to make a junkyard find Trans Am.
Oh, okay. Nice. Nice. There you go.
Everything's crooked and beat to shit. All the interior's falling out of it.
That's not a junkyard find. That's a normal Trans Am.
Yeah, but it's got 2 knots of exhaust on it. I don't know how many Pontiacs you ever seen that been sitting that look like this, that the exhaust looks brand new.
No, exactly.
One wheel's falling off.
That's what those cars used to look like all the time before people would wrap them around telephone poles and all sorts of things.
You know, that's actually my favorite color of Trans Am right there.
Is it the Y88?
The gold. I like the gold Trans Ams. I almost had one for like $400. A buddy of mine had it, and my wife at the time said, "Hell no." She's like, "What are you gonna do with that?" Well, now the car, the shape that it was in, they're selling for $6,000-7,000 down here right now.
Yeah, they're not cheap anymore. That's for sure. Well, what I need is I can't find them up here easily or cheap. I need a floor pan for a 3rd gen Camaro. You got any places where you can get those?
A 3rd gen?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure eBay or somebody's got them.
Well, yeah, I can find them, but they're bloody expensive.
How much are they up in Canada then?
Well, just for the panel, I think the cheapest I found was $600 Canadian, and that doesn't include shipping or anything. So
yeah, and you have to everything. God damn. Yeah, I don't know.
And that's just half a panel. That's not the whole floor. That's just like driver's side.
Driver's side. Let's say like a 1987.
This one's an 83, I think it is. But yeah, I think everything from 82 up to 92 is the same on the driver's side, anyways.
Floor pan. Full side, 82 to 92, $300.
Yeah, that's US. So you got to add 40% to that, which.
Hell, even like Classic Industries has them. Was it $216.94 at Jegs?
Oh, really?
Oh, it's 67, 69. Never mind.
Yeah, those I can find. Same thing. They're a lot less money.
Buick. Why would I put in 83 Camaro and they're showing me Buicks? I'll just do what I do, man. Get you some corrugated steel. Just that real thin shit you can get at the hardware store. And
well, I wouldn't mind doing that, except it's rusted out the seat mounts too. So it's got the bracing. It's all gone too.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, I would totally do that. I would, license plates, whatever. But and it's going to be my son's car, so I'd like it to be somewhat safe.
Your son's car's behind you.
Well, that's his when he gets older.
Oh, see?
This one's his daily driver.
Ah. What's your daily driver? Oh, right. You're only 9. He's backed up. He's backed up and stuff, so.
Yeah, I've only got a few more months and he's driving, so
yeah,
gotta get that car together for him.
Which one's your car again?
Blanche. I thought the 73 was going to be his.
No, that's going to be our toy. We'll see though, man, because that car, if we fix the body panels on it, it's actually very straight, other than where our goddamn limb fell on it. But I can fix that. It just dented in the roof. It didn't bend anything.
Well, you got experience with that. You got your tractor. And
sure. You'd be better off letting me do it with a plunger. Just
you did pretty good on another car with the tractor.
The fenders and everything on that it's pretty straight. I was surprised once I got it washed off. I was just like, they make quarter panels for this. They make trunk floors for this. So we'll have to see. I I got the idea a long time ago to make because 73 is a 1 year only. Go figure, it's mine. And
yeah, you got a knack for that. Yeah.
I was thinking about making it like a tribute race car, but I didn't know who I would do it. And then, Bobby Allison just passed away.
Oh,
And Bobby
really?
Allison's Cup car was a 73. This Coca-Cola car was a 73. And it'd be an easy paint job to pull off. But I don't know. I kind of just want to put some ridiculous wheels on it and go out and do burnouts. And, it's a free motor. The only thing I've got in the drivetrain that I paid for is now the drive shaft I had to have shortened.
Okay. Yeah.
And the transmission I gave my neighbor $200 for, but you see how that turned out.
Yeah, I did.
It works though. It does work. It's fine. It's just, and I'm not mad at him for it. That's shit that I should have looked at. Like, I only gave $200 for it.
You got lucky. You got really freaking lucky that you got both those out. I don't know. I was like, man, I could see how much pressure you were putting on that wrench. I'm like, oh boy. But then I seen the easy out afterwards, and that was a beefy easy out. But I'm like, oh man, you're lucky you got those out.
I already called Tony and asked him if he had a casing.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, do you have a core laying around? Because this thing's and I told him, he goes, oh man. And I said, it's aluminum against aluminum, so I'm just going to heat it up and take an easy out and bang it in there with a hammer. There ain't none of that. Put it in there and lightly go in and just kind of screw it in like you would, a steel bolt. So I just took it and I smacked it with a hammer a bunch of times, and I'll be damned if it didn't come loose.
I was shocked. I was shocked that you got them both out. I really was. That was pretty impressive, actually.
Got them out and it don't leak. I've had it out here, filled it up, and everything works. I use PTFE for lines.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm going to start using that stuff all the time now. It's cheap enough. And I can put it wherever the hell I want to put it. It's not like a bend a hose.
Yep.
So, and I just picked up a partnership with Evil Energy.
Nice.
I was talking about getting shit for free, but I'm going to give them a little bit for it, but I'm going to buy a bunch of that line. That's that.
Yeah, they actually, I like the line and I like the fittings. I did get a fuel pump from them that I end up sending back, but I did buy it off the Jungle site, so it's questionable whether it was actually one of theirs or not. So
yeah, but they got a bunch of shit, and they're just like, hey, they seen the video of me doing that with Aces, and I had to buy a bunch of stuff, and I bought all Evil Energy, and they emailed me.
Really?
And
cool.
Yeah, and I said, well, they said, let me know what you want. We'll get it to you. Even the 15-gallon race tank.
Oh, nice. Really nice.
Yeah. And we need that for something else. So I may have a race car coming too.
Sweet. Well, that car there, I was going to put an Evil Energy fuel pump in it when the Walbro crapped out, but when I got the Evil Energy, it wasn't packaged. It wasn't still in its bag. I opened up the box and someone had cut the bag open. The pump was lying out of the bag, and the stenciling was worn off a bit and stuff like that. I'm like, well, this looks like a used pump. I'm not going to put this on my car.
Yeah.
So, and then I went to Summit. Yeah, I went to Summit and I got a Walbro again because all of the fittings would have been different. It would have been a big pain in the butt to change it from what I had. And then the one I got from Summit, I compared it to the one I got off of and I paid the good price on Amazon. And I compared the two pump and they were different. And I was like, the Summit one was legit and the Amazon one wasn't. And I didn't pay the cheap price for the Amazon one. I paid the good price and it still was a bogus pump, right?
I actually had, I ordered a bearing. I said it in my last little Aces video I just put out. I had to change the passenger bearing in that too. And when I got home, I got one, I pulled it out, and the son of a bitch just fell apart. I pulled that
Wow.
passenger side axle out. It just it disintegrated. So I called up O'Reilly's and I say, hey, I need this. And they said, yeah, I'll get it for you to be here Tuesday. 2 days, it's fine. It's raining. She ain't gonna drive it anyway. It's fine. It's before Halloween. I get it. I go in there to pick it up. She hands it to me. I open it up. It's barely in its package, and somebody had installed it once and had used a air hammer to get
it out.
To get the and it was just destroyed. And I just kind of took it and I went, bam! She was walking away, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Look at that."
Yeah.
Oh my effing God. She said, I said, yeah, you guys, somebody just took this and I'll get you another one. I said, don't worry about it because the parts store I grew up in, they actually had Timkins.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
A little bit more expensive and they're Japanese made, not American made, Japanese made. It's just fine. I was about to put China made ones on it, I didn't care. It's not like it's going to go to Tucson, Arizona again. So I get them from Dustin Sons, and they were fine. And then they got a new one in. It was the same thing.
Really?
Bought two. It was the only two they had in stock in the whole, middle America. And both of them were that way. I've got like 6 or 10 of those bearings here now from all the ones I ordered from all over to get them in.
Well, you're lucky you found an axle out there when you did.
Well, we eventually would have had it. It would have taken that Thursday. It would have been one more day before we would have been able to leave, but we were ready to go. I did not. It's not a very nice little area. So,
yeah,
not to mention,
fair enough.
To get out of the bad area, the hotels were $280 a night.
Oof.
Yeah, they had me. But
Ouch.
when we left, I ran in there. I said, hey, I got my car fixed. I'm leaving. Is there any way you could not charge me for another night? And she said, sure. She took it off the book. So they didn't charge me another night.
Oh, that's nice.
But, craziest part about the whole trip is we got to our driveway and the brakes went out.
Really?
That's the friggin' road, man. Just, whoa. I had to back up the side of the road. It was bad.
Demonstration.
Yeah, it was bad.
Driveway.
Yeah, just right past the driveway.
Yeah, just right on by. Well,
we didn't even get mad.
Drums on it, Phil.
We just laughed.
At least it got you home. In the end, it got you home. That's the important part.
Well, it ran great the whole time. That motor ran great. The one that I should never be building that way with the Swiss cheese cylinders and the cheap eBay rings and bearings and all that. And imagine that. It gets 60 pounds of oil pressure all the way there and back and didn't burn a quart.
Yeah, nice.
Well, I take that back. It burned almost a quart of oil in 3,500 miles through the desert.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's really good.
Didn't run good enough to run the race. Yeah, that's because it was untuned. I literally threw a 750 carb on that thing and drove it through the mountains to higher elevation with the jets in it still from the 450.
Dalton says that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's right, 'cause you can't be talking.
I don't know what happened actually. We ran out of fuel going down the track. Because I had him out of the hole. You watched the video, I took off. And I don't know. We'd like to do a rematch, but we ain't driving all the way to goddamn Tucson to do it. That's for damn sure.
Fair enough.
And everything around here is eighth of a mile.
It's been a while. I got to do a quarter mile a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I went down there to do that race day with the Dodge Demon. That was quite the experience, honestly.
Now, is that a typo or is that just how y'all talk up there? Banger me.
Yeah.
I'm just,
Bangor.
I'm,
I don't know.
I'm just being a shit,
You? No.
right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, don't you? ME's Maine.
So that was the first time I drove a car in the 10 seconds in a quarter mile. That was quite. I think I picked the wheels off when I launched too. It was great.
Really? What car was it?
It was a Dodge Demon.
Really?
Yeah.
The Dodge Demon or the Fiat Demon?
No, it was Dodge. Well, same. Dodge Demon. It had a Hemi. That's what matters. It had a Hemi.
Bangor, Maine. You kind of wonder how they named that. How did they name Bangor, Maine? I'm sure there's an actual explanation for it, but they probably had this thing, you know, like my wife's bitching I can't do anything about it. Banger. Or how do you goddamn banger? It's a banger. Is that how they talk? I'm trying to get the. What are you laughing at? Don't spit out on the computer. People trying to watch. I seen one of the funniest videos I'd ever seen in my life out of Maine, and it was a guy. The guy's getting a ticket, and he's just absolutely pissed off. He rips up the ticket and chucks it out the window at the cop, throws it at the cop, and the whole time, and he's screaming with this extreme northeastern. I don't know what he's
really?
sitting there writing. What are you writing now? This is a ticket for littering.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Littering, goddamn bastard. I was like, oh God, I couldn't take it no. Bang at. I knew that was bang at.
I almost got a ticket while I was down there.
Oh
So,
yeah.
When we got to the rental agency in Phoenix, we were looking for a Challenger, and they had a few, but they were all 6-cylinders. We're like, well, we're not paying the premium price for a 6-cylinder. Not going to pay $600 for 4 days or whatever for a 6-cylinder car. No, thank you. So then we decided we go look at Turo, and we found a C8 Corvette. It was $100 a day. We're like, that can't be right. So we checked it out anyways, and sure enough, it was like $110 a day. So we rented the C8 Corvette, and I took it up. I took it up to Jerome. He's going through the mountains, and I was having a lot of fun. Let's just put it that way. And then I got the flashy lights behind me.
Oh shit.
But he was very nice. He walked up, and after I found a place to pull over, he's like, yeah. He kind of peeks in, sees the two of us in there, and he's like, yeah, okay, slow it down.
Well, that's
okay, thanks.
I got right before Power Tour, I got pulled over in Blanche. I just got the transmission all put back in it and redid the intake and carb setup on it and stuff just to get it running better, a little more efficient, because I'd never really done anything with it. And I took off and I got down, I don't know, way the hell away from here. Like, it's not really, it's like 10 or 15 miles from here. I'm just cruising and I'm filming, right? Like, yeah, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I got the camera, the big camera, and I see this group of cars coming. I didn't even think about it. And I was like, well, let's see if it goes into passing gear. And I'm doing like 55. I'm doing 55, and that thing's got like, with those tires, it's got like a 260 ratio in the back of this thing, you know, because it's ridiculous. Well, I'm doing 55, and I got no RPMs whatsoever. I drop this subbitch back, the front end comes up, and it actually acts like a race car. And whoa, I was like, yeah. And I look, whoa, shit. The last car was a state cop.
Yeah.
And I put the camera down, and I didn't even see lights. I just got to where this is railroad crossing in a road, and I just went there and I stopped.
Yeah.
Came pulling up. She goes, "In a hurry, are we?" This thing pretty fast. She's smiling. I was like, "Oh no." I said, "I'm just out test driving the thing. I just put a transmission in it, and I was just testing the passing gear. Honestly, I said I didn't see you back there, and I said, but I probably would have done it if I saw you anyway." And she laughed and she goes, "Look," I said, "I'm getting ready to go to power tour or on power tour with this car, and I'm, you know." She goes, "Well, let's try to keep the front end down, shall we?"
Nice.
So I didn't have the air shocks on it pumped up. So as soon as I hit the gas, that son of a bitch hit the bump stops in the front end.
Sweet.
I mean, there's a lot of torque underneath that hood, you know.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it was funny. I mean, I didn't even get a written warning. She just gave me a verbal warning.
Nice.
She goes, "You wearing your seatbelt?" "Yes, ma'am."
Nice.
What's funny is I actually was.
You're getting called out for a rematch, and you don't have that far to go.
I know all about this track. We was thinking about doing something there. Me and Dalton, a bunch of us were thinking about doing something there, but nothing ever became of it. Dalton got too big for us.
Oh yeah, that happens, I guess.
Nah. That is one guy that'll never ever act like he's too big for you. Trust me.
I don't know how he does it. I really don't. Like how he pumps out the videos he pumps out, and he's got 2 channels, and I suppose he's not working anymore, so that helps. But even if I wasn't working, I wouldn't have the energy to do what he does.
He's working harder now than he was before.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
There's a lot to juggle. I'm kind of thankful that I ain't that big. Honestly, I'd love to be that. I don't have to drive this truck anymore. That'd be great.
What always makes me laugh is all the guys giving him a hard time, telling him, "Oh, that's a crappy paint job" or whatever. I'd love to see some of those guys do better in the time that he does it with the materials that he uses and everything else. Like, it's funny when all these guys talk smack, right? And those are the same ones that don't get off their butt at all, almost guaranteed.
Yeah, that's what happened today. I had one kind of set me off. But yeah, this is absolutely true. John is exactly right. I got a freaking Snapchat from him at like 3 a.m. I guess he didn't realize I was, probably asleep. And, when it comes to the mechanical side of things, he's like me, safety, make sure the thing's safe.
Yeah, yeah.
Motor and trans wise, he don't care as long as it runs, maybe a little more power. Whereas I'm the opposite. I'm an engine builder, so I want the most optimum performance out of whatever engine I have, and it's got to sound good. But when it comes to the paint, he may act like he's hacking, but everything he's doing, most people wouldn't even have thought of.
Oh, no, I guaranteed, yeah.
And he doesn't mess around when it comes to the paint. I mean, he'll bitch and he's real hard on himself like he is. I guarantee that Pontiac looks beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
He was telling me that, it's a 20-footer or whatever. Dude, I couldn't paint. The only way I got a 20-footer is to roll it. I had to roll on the friggin' paint to make a 20-footer and use some, I had to use poppies to make it look good.
We have a new question.
See, what are you doing? Yeah, see, you're working on a shop. We don't want to hear from you. Just get to work on your fancy shop. I don't care.
That's a good question because, those trucks, they came with the FEs, but honestly, in my opinion, a 302 is the best Ford engine to build if you're just starting out because you got all the parts and everything else are so plentiful and easy to get. The FEs are expensive.
Yeah. One of the best motors Ford ever made was an FE. A lot of people give it shit because no matter if you're in a car or a truck, they all sound like a truck.
Yeah.
But a small block Ford, straight off 302. But it also depends on which, because they'll be different. Your setup will be different in that truck. You need to look at what it had in it. You know what's out there that's a dime a dozen and they still got good parts for is a what is this? A 330? What is my 400? It's a 351 modified, 351M. It's not really modified. It's 351 modified 400 or a 400. There's a lot of them around. It's a good torque motor for a truck. You can go to junkyards and find them things cheap because nobody wants them. We love ours, the one that's in Blanche. We love it. But if it's set up for a small block, just get you a 302 with the truck, be a C6. Make sure you get a C6 for a small block. They're different.
Mm-hmm.
If you can make a 302, just clean it up, get you a cam and lifter kit that's moderately mild. If you just want to have some fun, just get you that Summit Racing makes a good one. There's not Molly, who makes, they make oil pumps too.
Milling.
Just a Melling is still a good camshaft. You can get like a stage 2, like an RV cam. It gets you good lifters.
Well, the nice thing is you can buy some very inexpensive aluminum heads for the 302 off of Summit as well. Like,
Yeah,
it's just a cheap engine to build. It's almost not quite as cheap as like a Chevy 350 or a Chevy small block, but
yeah.
It's pretty close, and it's very forgiving.
Oh, extremely forgiving.
So,
God,
it's
I
a
put
good.
so many of those motors through hell. I've broken cranks in 3 places in a small block Ford at one time. Just bang, 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 bang.
One thing I will say, if you do use aftermarket heads, upgrade the studs, the rocker studs.
Oh God, yeah, don't.
Yes, don't do the 3/8 studs.
Yeah, no, don't. See you later, man.
See you guys.
But yeah, small block Ford. Everybody gets kind of freaked out about them because they're so used to Chevys and like, oh my God, the distributor's in the front. No shit.
Yeah,
A lot of motors had distributors in the front. GM was the only one really back in the day that had them in the back.
The only thing you have to watch out for with the small block Fords is the firing order on the cam.
Yes. If you got the hypo, it'll be a 351 firing order.
Yep.
If you got the old school 302. I made that mistake on Skylar's car.
Oh, did you?
I wasn't thinking. I had in my mind my old hypo 302s out of my old Fox bodies back in the day. And they were 351, and I hooked it up. I can't remember the numbers now off the top of my head. I've been working around too many GMs. But I had it on the 30 or the 351, and it was the comp cams that I put in there. It's actually it's the old school 302.
Well, some of those trucks, did they have 351s in them? I think they did back then, didn't they?
Yeah, they should have.
They should have had Windsor blocks in them.
They would have more likely had a 351 more than a 302.
Yeah.
You'd have had those years. You'd have had well, when did they start the 335 series? It was 429s were. Well, I've got a 70 429.
We got 2.
We got 2 actually. Well, one's a 68,
That's in
but
the garage.
68 or 69. 69.
But I think 78 is when the Ford trucks started having, like, they got away from the FEs in 78, wasn't it? 77, they still had the FEs in them. But I think you could get the odd one with the Windsor in them.
Yeah, you may have. You just have to look it up. But if you're grab something, stick it in a car, find a 30 or the truck, put a 302 with a C6 behind it. Just standardize it, have some fun, build it, get it running and driving, and then do what you want with it.
The 351, either or 302,
Yeah.
351.
But if you find a good 351M, 400M with the trans behind it, cheap, grab that.
Yep. Yep.
You're not going to win on race day, but you're going to have the torque to pull the race car around the track. They're good motors. I've never had a problem with them. But
that's I haven't. This is one of the videos I haven't edited yet, and I haven't even finished doing the video series yet. But I'm doing a 10 truck challenge. I don't think I told you about this, but I've got a bunch of trucks, and 3 of them are Fords, maybe 4 of them. So 70s Fords, and then I've got some GMs, and so I'm running the gambit from 74 to 2011 through the different models like GM, Dodge, and Ford. And so the idea of the video being is I'm going to say, okay, here's points with a carburetor. Here's how you get this thing running, and I'm going to just do all the similarities. You know, you can get any of these things running here and work my way up to the coil unplug, fuel injection, stuff like that, and just take people through this. The basics are the same: compression, fuel, spark. You know, as long as you got those, the engine should run.
Yep.
So that's the plan, but that's a big, long, multi-series video that I'm working on right now. But I actually picked up a 74, 75, and a 76. And there's a 77 Ford all in there.
Yeah. Mama come out here. She's mad because it's cold. My little walked by a coat. I didn't even feel it.
So you gonna tell her, Mom?
Yeah.
Amber, you guys, you got to come up here for a visit one of these days, right in the middle of winter.
She's over here. I got her the Hallmark channel.
I haven't been watching.
Oh, did you? Okay, nice. You got all the Christmas movies coming.
You haven't been watching it.
I've been making gingerbread and peppermints.
Yeah, that's true. 38 racing. That roller cam's nice to deal with because no one can make good parts nowadays. So the roller's a little bit better than the flat tappet.
I'll tell you what, I'd barely get on Facebook anymore. The only time I'm ever on Facebook is to open up Marketplace. So I got on there and it was a Pontiac thing. Or no, it was Oldsmobile.
Okay.
And I joined a long time ago and it popped up and some guy was saying, what do? I got a 455 here. I don't have a lot of money to spend, but I need, a good lifter. I have a camshaft that's brand new. It's like a old model crane, kind of like what I do with the Pontiac. But he didn't have any lifters. And everybody was giving him the lifters, $500 a set. You know how they are. Everybody's got to be perfect. And I said, get on there. And I said, well, you can get these two. One is from Summit, one's from Amazon. They're exactly the same. They come in a package of nothing, but they're in oil.
Yeah.
Watch my video on the 350 that was stuck that I put together. That's what I used. It was $56 for 16 lifters.
Holy jeez, that's cheap.
And they're already soaked in oil. And I wiped the bottom of them off. And I explained this on that thing. Wipe the bottom of them off. Get you some CRC, the black tube from your local parts store. Don't use the crap they send you with the cams. Throw it away as soon as you get it. And I said, you use this Stay Lube. And I said, you get that on there and you break that thing in like any other camshaft. Use a light oil, like a 1030 or something like that with Lucas. I prefer the Lucas. Break in stuff that has the zinc in it. And I said, dump that in there. And I said, run it with a good filter. And then whenever You've ran it for your 20, 25 to 30 minutes. Keep a fan in front of it. Make sure it's got antifreeze in it, not water, because antifreeze will run cooler than water.
Yeah.
I said you break that thing in, then you change the filter right away before you run it again. Don't change the oil, change the filter. Change the filter, top off the oil, run it again for 20 or 30 minutes. It just let her run, let her idle, and then change the oil. These people come unglued on me like I was. And I said, you know what? I've built hundreds of motors. How many in the last 3 years have I built with cheap lifters? Comp cams right off the shelf, an old school crane cam, the original cam that had pits in it.
Yeah.
And I put these lifters on, and I've never roasted a cam. I only lost one lifter, and that's because the internals actually broke in it.
Yeah.
That was in the Mustang. But I've never had trouble. I do not have the trouble with cams that everyone else seems to have. And I think it's because when you buy something from, say you call Comp Cams and you get your, I don't know, whatever, high energy, regular flat tappet camshaft and the lifter kit, the first thing people do is they'll pick up and they go, oh, look, they already sent me this lube. And they say, use that lube. I'm telling you right now, throw that shit away. Unless you're doing a roller cam setup, throw it away. And you got to use old school stuff for old school motors. And that Stay Lube or Lubriprate is another good one. The white bottle.
Yeah, the Lubriprate. Yeah.
And I use that black shit. I got like 10 bottles of that crap out there. Because every time I'm getting ready to build a motor, I'm like, do I have any? And I go, yeah. Oh, fuck it. $16, I'll grab another, or $9, I'll grab another one, But
well, speaking of roller cams, that's another one that people kind of mess up on, and the lifters, they come with a packing oil a lot of times, and you need to rinse that stuff out and put clean fresh oil in there, because that they'll gum up the rollers on the lifters if you use the packing oil.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of little tricks with lifters and cams that I think people aren't really aware of. Or they have.
The other thing that I had was they said you can't go running it on those, the hard springs that that you're supposed to run with the high lift cam and all that shit. And I'm like, I got thumper cam out there that I put the spring kit and everything on that thing. I broke it in just the way it is, and I didn't even use the keepers, the top part that goes over your spring, the big part. It's not the keepers. What are they called?
The retainer.
Yes, the retainer.
Yeah.
I have them out there. I didn't even put them in. I'm running them on the old Ford retainers because it's old school metal. They're holding just fine. I did upgrade the clips, but it's all, and that thing runs great. We've had it on Power Tour. We get the damn transmission to quit leaking. So I'm getting ready to swap that one out too. I'm done with that FMX shit. Done. We're gonna put a 6 in it, even though I got a really expensive torque converter in it now. Huh?
We don't even have a Hemi Cuda.
You hear that?
A Hemi Cuda. I want one of those.
Well, my buddy here, he's drawing me up some ideas for stuff, and I'm telling you, the kid watches everything. He noticed Hemi Cuda right away. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, I've never had that trouble with camshafts. I don't know why, and I use the cheapest shit. I mean, filling station rebuilds. Yeah. I even overheated the Javelin twice breaking in the cam, and it's still fine. took it on power tour, didn't we? And didn't have one iota of problem except for the junk ass fuel pumps.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you use the old school metal.
Yeah.
It just works better.
Bearings.
The what?
The bearings in the Javelin.
The front bearings. That was the first time.
Yeah.
I did have a bad run of bearings in that Pontiac the first when I built it.
Did you?
Yeah, I ran it on the stand, and I had a little bit of an oil leak. The rear main rope didn't hang, so I ate it and I turned it back over, and I said, "Well, I'll go ahead and check the bearings." And rod bearings were shot. They didn't last a day, and I was,
Really?
but the company actually replaced them for free.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
Believe it. And I use all what's that crap I use? Engine Tech.
Yeah.
They're all made in the USA, or the rings, the bearings, everything. They're made in USA or made in Israel.
Right. Yeah.
So, same company that makes Hastings makes the Engine Tech stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Same exact thing. Because I always used to use Durabond bearings. I used Hastings rings. Even when I got to building some heavier, like Derby engines and shit, I used Hastings, Durabond, some Seal Power. I used to run TRW pistons, all that kind of stuff. But anymore, pistons are ridiculous to get a Keith Black, like a really good. I think what was in ones? Something light. What did we use in the Javelin engine? It was cheap, but they work just fine. I'm not building these engines, so are parts going to get better than the way they used to be? What do you mean, Brett? Our parts are going to get better the way they used to be. Are you thinking, are they going to get as good as they used to be? You want an honest opinion about this. Are parts ever going to come back to being made? The minute you start buying parts, and there's 3 countries. If they're made in Canada, it's good shit. Made in the United States, it's good shit. It's made in Mexico, it's good shit. How do I know that? Because a lot of our parts that are in your new cars are made in Canada and Mexico. And here recently, a lot from China, which you notice everything's junk when it comes from over there. But with this whole new system, we'll say, that's probably going to come up in this country, you're going to be able to buy American parts, American, Canadian, and Mexican parts about the same price. That means coming down to meet the stuff from overseas. It's going to happen because these people are going to, the people here, say North America, right, Brent? We'll just say North America. When North America is able to compete with everybody over there, everybody's parts come down. All their parts come down, you'll be able to buy better stuff. With that said, though, Edelbrock and Holly better get their shit together because their parts are turning into straight garbage too. So they need to not bring down their quality to try to match the price. They need to stay that quality and let the economy bring it back down to where they're affordable. I don't mind paying a little bit extra for good parts, but some of this shit, like, I mean, $100 more. I can understand that if you're into racing and you're into full builds on cars for SEMA and all these, but yeah, okay. Not for Joe Blow, John Q. Public out here that's just wanting to drive a hot rod, Yeah. Parts from Canada are good. Parts from Mexico are good. I've got a Mexican guitar in the house that'll outplay some of the American ones that I've owned. So, I mean, it's not that. I've got an American Strat and I've got a Mexican or American Telly custom shop and a Mexican Stratocaster, and they're pretty damn comparable.
3.8 engines. I'm sorry, but you spelled Derby wrong.
Derby engines.
Derby.
You said dirty. A dirty engine. Maybe that he's just saying the way you would say it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it would be the same because high RPMs. The difference is you're not getting hit by other cars unless you're hitting the wall. I mean, if you hit the wall, it's. But I've got a burnout motor out there. When I get it done, I may build it this winter. I don't know yet. I don't want to, but it's something I want to take my time on. It won't be just a random build out there. I'll get out the good tools, we'll say.
I'm looking at this pan that you said is on Classic Industries. I'm trying to see how much it's going to cost me to ship it here.
That's too bad, too. I think, who the hell was it? Well, it was Dan. I was talking to Dan about shit. I said, look, if there's anything you ever need, I'm get it to the border. You know, we can get it to the border. He goes, you don't understand. They're still going to charge me out the wazoo just to get it through the border.
Yep.
I said, we always had such a decent trade agreement with Canada. Why are they being dicks about parts? You know?
Well, I mean, it is actually, if you can do it, you still have to pay the brokerage fees and stuff like that sometimes, well, all the time, but there are warehouses set up like in Sweetgrass, for example, that we can go down to and just pick it up at the border. So there's a couple warehouses that are set up specifically for that. They cater mostly to Canadian customers, where you ship all the stuff to the warehouse in Sweetgrass, then we cross the border, grab the stuff, and come across.
Right.
Because then you save a lot of the fees. But you still get nailed on the GST and on the duty and stuff like that.
See, this high RPM and extended time, I'm not so worried about that. The cooling part I have fixed because I just won't run a damn electric fan. That's the first thing that'll go. I will always run a mechanical fan. I don't care if I eat 50 belts. Mechanical fan will always do the best job.
I wasn't able to put a mechanical fan on that and run the filtered air, so I put dual electric fans on it.
Yeah. I mean, for the right situation, they're great. I don't have a problem with them. It's just, I think at a high RPM, if you're just sitting there holding it to the floor, you need that fan to just be sucking towards that engine. And you need to make sure that your cowl is open. That way the air has somewhere to escape out the back. That's why a lot of people, they run with their hoods off. But hoods off ain't the greatest idea either, because then the air is just kind of sitting, you know. It blows around. If you got a place for that air to get, it's almost like, how do I explain it? Kind of like a whirlpool. The air gets in there and it just shoots out to your windshield. That's what a cowl was for, and to suck in. I don't know. I have never overheated a car with a mechanical fan on, like really bearing down on it. But electrical fans, I did that with Blanche. We damn near blew that brand new engine up because of those goddamn electric fans. I was mad. But they were good fans too. They both quit. That's like Power Tour. If you're ever going to do Power Tour, use a mechanical fan or have one hell of a charging system.
Well, I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, is they put the electric fans, but they don't upgrade the alternator and stuff on the car. It's like the original alternator is not designed to handle that extra load. You really got to up that alternator.
Another secret to doing long extended burnouts is LS motor is the easy way out, or you run a Chevy engine no matter what because they'll run cooler. They just will. But like Pontiacs love heat. They're 200 degrees all the damn time. How about no? I should say that I must confess I have two of them.
I do like the LS swaps, but it has to be the right vehicle.
I have two 6.0s.
Well, that one's LS swapped.
Yeah.
And I love it. It drives nice. I also put the transmission in it too, so it's just the 5.3 with 4L60 transmission. That thing will cruise on the highway, getting 25 miles to gallon all day long.
I think the only thing worthy of an LS swap is a Mopar.
Oh yeah, that gets people excited.
Yeah, that's the whole reason. Just piss them off. That's the only reason I'm here. I'm just here to piss people off.
Well, I'm going to put a Mopar in my '68 Mustang.
Right.
See, it goes both ways.
Yeah, I guess it does. I don't care as long as it's on the road.
Exactly.
No, I'll probably do something with an LS. I mean, I got two 6.0s. I got aces to do all the fuel system stuff. I got a guy about camshafts. I've never built one, so why not? You know, I got one that I can build just like I normally do, and then one that I can really bear down on and make, a wheelie monster or something.
You know what? If you're going to get a truck cam, get it from Richard Holdner. He sells his own line of cams. And they're very, very inexpensive, and they'll put out the same numbers as like the truck Norris cam and stuff like that.
Well, I appreciate you watching, dude, because I only do what I can afford, and I figure most of the stuff that I buy is so cheap that, I hate to say that, cheap isn't always the best, but what do? You'd either want to drive the thing and work on it once in a while, or do you want to spend $100,000 on something that sits in your garage and you're scared to let a gnat land on? I'd rather drive it. But I appreciate you watching. Now, what's John saying now? If he says in all seriousness at first, he's still joking.
I don't think he's joking this time. I happen to agree with that.
A huge deal. See, that is the biggest lie about LS swaps, that it's cheap.
I don't know if that's a lie. I wouldn't call that a lie. It depends. I don't think it's any more expensive than rebuilding an engine if you're doing a junkyard swap. You have to upgrade the fuel system. It depends. It depends on what your mechanical aptitude is and your fabrication skills are. Like that car, I think I've got a total of like $2,000 in it. That's the engine, the transmission, the computer, fuel system, everything, right? I don't even know. Well, actually, no, it wasn't even that. I think the majority of that cost is actually suspension and the windshield. So I got maybe $1,500, and it's straight junkyard swapped, right?
Well, the ambulance, for instance, I had $1,300 in that motor before I put the EFI on it. I had $1,300 in that motor, and that's me counting if I would have had bought the heads that I put on it. I already had them.
Yeah.
So in total on that car, I have $3,500 in that car completely.
Nice. Yeah, I got about $2,000 in that car.
Well, I got to figure out the wheels too. The wheels were lug nut guys gave me a hell of a deal on them. So it was, I think I got like $1,400 in the wheels. So that would bring me up to about $5,000. But some of these, like this Chevy out here, they got nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, basically a few parts I have in that car.
That's the AI Monte Carlo for me. I think I've got $900 in that car right now.
Yeah.
That includes the purchase price of the car. So. Well, there's no doubt you can spend a lot on an LS swap, or you
can spend the littlest amount possible.
The sky's the limit on how much you can spend on the darn thing, but you can also do it relatively inexpensive. But the places you don't cheap out on the fuel pump, or the fuel line or any of that stuff. Get some good quality stuff there.
See, I joke about it a lot. I'm not against LS swaps. I am seriously just get the damn thing on the road. I don't care how you do it at your car, but I'm also not a huge purist, but I'm a purist to the most that I'm like, I'd like to keep it, I'd like to keep it how I grew up watching,
Yeah. Well,
the worst thing that happens, I know what's going to happen when I build one of these 6.0s. I'm going to build this thing. I think, okay, what am I going to put this in? Okay, let's say we're going to put it in the Omega. I get it into the Omega, and this thing's supposed to be a burnout car, wheelie car, have fun car, do all that kind of shit. And we'll get in there, and I'll be like, you know what? I don't have enough in there. I'm going to need a little bit more. And then we start getting into aftermarket LS.
Yeah.
Whereas I could just throw that big block I got in the garage in there. Throw a one-time only 572 kit in that sumbitch, and I'm looking at 600-700 horsepower, naturally aspirated, and I can throw a turbo on it or a supercharger, and
here's the thing you're missing, Jay. If you take that vehicle on Power Tour or take it to Tucson or whatever, the parts for an LS are much easier to get.
Oh, I get that. Trust me, I know all about parts for older engines. If I put an LS in something, it's more than likely probably going to be like something to just go tear up a track in. I other than that, I barely get over what I do 25 and a 35. I don't have any reason. I don't know. I joke a lot that I'm against it. I don't give a damn if you put a Iron Duke in a freaking 69 GTO, if that's what's going to get it on the road. Just get it on the damn road,
$100 cab, $80 springs, or making north of Forsyth.
See, that's the thing, though. Let me explain something to you. My neighbor down the street, okay, guy I got these motors off of, only because he's got so many of them, he needed them out of the way. He LS swaps everything. He got this Suburban from Michigan, drove it home, really, really old school Suburban. Had a really nice 350 in it, Edelbrock carb. The transmission that is now out here in my Chevelle was in that car. It was all brand new. All of it was brand new. He says, I really like this thing. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And I just kind of looked at him.
You're not.
Let me know when you're wanting to sell all that to me. 2 weeks later, I see him with the hood off of it. He texts me, hey, you want this transmission? Yep, I do. He said, I sold the motor to my buddy. It's going in his Blazer. Okay. He gets him a 5.3 or something like that, or a 6.0. I can't remember what he got from this junkyard he's got to deal with. 4L80E, whatever is in a pickup truck. And he puts it in there. He's driving it around. Week later, the hood's off of it. What's going on down there?
Yeah, 6 liter.
Spun a bearing. Leaky ring. This. Next day. 2 weeks later, hood's up again. Motor's out. One thing I do not and never will do, LS or not, is pull something out of a junkyard and think it's going to be the best bee's knees. That's why
I don't think that.
you pull every damn piece of sheet metal off that engine and you look at it. It takes you 15 minutes to pull everything off, and just be sure the first thing you should do when you pull out an LS. This is just from me investigating myself, because I don't know much about LS engines. I've never been into it. The first damn thing that should be done, rip that goddamn oil pump off of that thing, replace all the seals everywhere around it, put you a different oil pump on it. Just right there is all your bases. If you're going to swap the cam, you might as well pop all the damn cam bearings out too and change the cam bearings. You got it all out in front of you right there. Well, then you're in there and you're like, okay, spun a main bearing on the last motor I had, but this one should be okay. And then they stick it in and, it does it again. Why wouldn't you just pull the thing apart? You can put it all right back together the way you got it. Pop pistons out. You get new head gaskets. You get all that shit. It's all right there in front of you. See, that's what I do anyway. I haven't done it on this motor because I was just like, I don't really care. I just don't. But as many times as my neighbor has swapped out an LS engine in no less than 2 months, made me promise myself that I would never just go grab an LS out of the junkyard and throw it in a car. Because he's got a nice driveway and all kinds of shit over there. I don't. So
yeah, fair enough.
The things in and out there, and I'm pretty good at doing it. Hell, I pulled Artemis's engine in 15 minutes. Did a bunch of shit to it 2 days later. Stuck it back in there. It took me 15 minutes. I had it running in a half an hour because I knew what I was doing with it because I'd had it apart already. I knew what I was just wanting to do, and that's it. But I'm telling you, everybody I've seen that does LS swaps, it's just like, oh, these are the bee's knees. And then they're the guys that every 2 weeks they got the hood open and the hood off of it. And it's always something. And I'm like, see, that's where it gets into, okay, you spent $1,300 on that engine and transmission, but you had it 2 weeks and turns out you got a spun rod bearing. Well, guess what? You had to go buy another one. And you had to go buy another one. Whereas I've only had that motor I've had to take the motor back out of Artemis, and that's it. That's it. To where somebody's putting $3,000-$4,000, every time they want to do all these swaps. I built a motor for $1,200, stuck it in the car, and I've had it all over the damn country, and I only took it out one time. And that was because, why did I take it out? The oil pan was leaking. That's it. That's the only reason I had to take it out, because I just didn't want to try to change it under the car. I put the rubber one from in there, from Butler. But I mean, again, I'm not against LS swapping. I just think the act of taking it right out of you don't know anything about it. Is it 80,000 miles of, yes, please, thank you for this? Or is it 85,000 miles of, woo, I'm glad this ain't my fucking truck. This is the boss's.
Yeah.
And who's maintenance these things? Whereas, these old motors, people would run them things 50,000 miles and never change the goddamn oil. I got one in there. I got one in the garage that's caked with 70s freaking Quaker steak,
Yeah, well, on the same side, I'm going to defend them a little bit here because I've opened up the LSs and the Hemis with, we'll say 200,000 miles on them. They still have crosshatch in the cylinders.
Oh, I don't disagree with you. It does, but if you get a bunch of people who are taking these things out of white pickups.
Yeah, don't take them out of white pickups.
Don't get your motors out of white pickups or
Don't take them out of the white base model pickups.
No. No, bad idea.
Especially Hemis. Well, I mean, this is basically what I started my channel on, is trying to prove that it didn't have to cost 10 grand to Hemi swap something. Because all this stuff I had seen, it's people were spending a fortune putting a modern Hemi in something at that time. So it's like, it can't be that bad. So that's where I started the channel, to set out to prove that you should be able to swap a Hemi into something for a relatively decent price.
Yeah.
And in the end, I did get there. Like, I mean, I built my engine run stand myself. I got the engine, I got the computer programmed, everything else, and it was $1,000 Canadian to get that thing running on the stand.
Yeah. Those are good motors, those Hemis, those third gens are.
Yeah, they are.
I don't really know enough about them to even. Whereas like an LS is basically, it's still that base GM.
Well, but here's the thing: it's the heads on both those. It's the heads. You're talking flow numbers of over 300 CFM on both the LS and the Hemi. Like, those are race heads essentially.
Right.
So that's why it's so easy to make power of those engines. Because the heads just flow so well, just the stock factory heads.
Yeah. See, the Dodge got it right in the fact, and so did the LS, until, Ford made their Coyote engine. They finally figured it out too, is why are you putting out shit heads when all you got to do is clean up your casting a little bit and you'll get better everything. Why? So when they got to doing the aluminum heads and shit, they finally figured that out for some reason. All of them did. It was every manufacturer. I mean, you can still get the newest small block Chevys, and the intake ports are horrible. Like, why am I the one that has to get the damn die grinder out to clean up your mess? Would it be just easier if it's right there in the factory? Just fix it.
Well, that's the problem with the. That is one problem with and it's not really a problem, but with the Hemis and the LSs, is you're very limited on intake manifolds. That's, if they have a weak link, that's definitely it. In that, because that's where they get expensive. If you have to go and look for aftermarket intake manifold for either of those things, now you're talking some coin. Like, you're talking $1,000 just for the stupid manifold. We're not talking injectors and stuff like that, right? $1,000 Canadian. I don't know what it is down there, but I think they've gotten a little bit better. But that used to be one of the big things, is the intake manifolds would just cost a fortune for those things. So if you were swapping an LS into a car and you had a truck engine, well, you need the low profile intake. So a lot of guys were hunting for the LS1 intakes and stuff like that. And those were $1,000 just for the intake.
They're here recently, like Aces has a setup now. They have a high ram, low ram. They have all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
And it's pretty nice stuff. I got to see some of it. But companies like that, like Aces, and I mean, Holly, you can get the super high ram.
Yeah.
I like the whatever that goddamn thing they made.
Well, now trade-ins did have their problems with the plugs, yes.
What's that?
The Ford trade-in engines and the spark plugs.
Oh boy.
We don't call those real Ford engines.
What the hell? Like ambulance or something? Lights went crazy around here. Those Triton engines, I had a 4.6, and I probably put 230,000 miles on them. Every 100,000, the first 100,000, I changed the plugs. The second 100,000, I changed the plugs. Didn't break a damn one.
You got lucky. I know lots that either blew the plugs out or they broke when they came out.
The 5.4 will blow the plugs out.
Oh yes.
But usually what happened is somebody changed them and stripped it out, and then you'll go to put the plug in it, and they'll cross thread it, break it, and then whenever the compression comes through, I've seen that happen a bunch of times. My 4.6, first thing you do is you blow out the plug hole and shoot a bunch of knocker loose or whatever down there and let it sit for a while.
Yep.
I never had a problem with them. I know the 5.4, I don't think I'd want one of them. You couldn't give me one. But that 4.6 I had, I ran the shit out of that motor. Hell, the motor kept going. Motor transmission, the drivetrain of that 4x4 worked great. It was a 98 F-150 four-wheel 4x4 with the 3-door. And I ran the piss out of that truck. And it never once gave me an issue till the matter of fact, the body rusted out from around. The frame and the drivetrain was still great, but the body just completely disintegrated.
I have something to say about my model.
What about your model?
It was supposed to have side pipes.
Yeah, it came with side pipes. And he decided to put the full exhaust on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Trans Am's with side pipes. Nah.
Remember that one at Power Tour?
Yeah, but that's different.
Jumper.
Why would you want anything with side pipes? We don't have anything with side pipes, do we?
Yeah.
I've got a set of 83-inch long side pipes out in the garage.
For what, Javi?
No, they're too big.
Oh, okay.
I had them I was going to put them on on Artemis.
On Artemis. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. But they're too long. I don't know. They won't even fit in the pickup. They're
Really?
too long.
Well, what the heck were they for then?
Well, it sounds to me like they're going to end up on a convertible because I think that's the only one that's got the wheelbase for it.
We tried it on the
I'm thinking side pipes, donk wheels, white leather,
blow.
Nice.
the spinners.
Okay, yeah. You got to
The
put
whole
the
trunk is
light up
nothing but
stem
boom.
on then. Neon valve stems.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Light up behind the wheels on the calipers. And
yeah, exactly.
there's a guy that's got a truck in town that his brake lights are hooked up to his fucking wheel lights.
I know.
He's
Really?
got like 25s and they're flat, big Dodge diesel. Tires are like this goddamn wide and that thick. And he's got the light wheel, the rings inside the wheels, the great big open chrome wheels. And he's got them set where they come on when he hits the brakes.
We pull up at our Riley's, and that's the first thing you see.
We're looking at it like, what the hell? Why don't you just squat it too while you're at it?
I don't understand that. That is one thing I just don't understand at all.
I don't know. That's kind of like everybody wearing their pants around their ankles.
I guess.
Thank you, 38 Racing. Yeah, furry dash as well.
Furry dash.
Yeah, and you got to have the little dingle balls hanging down from the roof too, right?
Got to play nothing but like Coolio.
Oh, no, you got to get the war going in there.
What's that?
You got to get some war going in there.
Oh, yeah. Good God, y'all. What is it good for?
Or lowrider.
You're talking about my favorite type of music. So that's like some of my favorite shit. What was we listening? We was listening to something the other day, and I cranked it up. We was going out to eat. Amber looked at me like, "The hell are you listening?" It was some old Motown stuff. I was just like, "This is the baddest shit in the world." I'm a drummer, and I love the bass. What? Oh, God damn it! It's a bass line. Do 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 do.
Everyone bites the dust.
Dude, I'm just sitting there jamming. Crank that shit up, man. I was like, this is
Sounds
awesome.
like another one bites the dust.
No, it wasn't another one bites the dust. It was
Okay.
I'll think about it after we're done. But that older 70s, just that Motown. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. Blacks have the best music, like the music, not gangster rap, and I listen to all that. I love Tupac and all that stuff, but that older 70s when they're wearing the suits and they're just badasses. The guys can sing their ass off. They're performers.
Oh yes, the little tree air fresheners. Gotta have those dangling.
Well, I got plenty of them. They took the goddamn rearview mirror off that car out there. I never seen so many in one car. It was like 30 of them on the damn rearview mirror. Just vacuum the goddamn thing out. What's your problem? I had no idea.
Well, Jay, I think I'm going to call it a night, sir.
Yeah, me too. I got to get up at like 3 or 4 in the morning. Get my ass to Indianapolis a couple times. What are you doing?
I'm playing lowrider.
We
All
got
right,
that.
guys.
We got that speaker in the bathroom now.
Okay,
So he'll go in there and take a shower, a bath, or something. That thing will just be jamming.
just cranked. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I think I'm gonna get on off here too.
Well, thanks for
I
inviting
need
me
to
on.
get back to bed.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Yeah, I'll. Where's the? Yeah, I appreciate everybody watching. I'll have a new video in I don't know 6-7 months. I'll see y'all later.
Take care.